Welcome everyone. It's Morven time this morning. How's everyone doing? Clay, how are you doing?
I'm doing great. I'm ready to morb.
I'm always ready to morb. I'll never not be ready to morb. Now, I can't wait till this turns into like whatever the meme's gonna be for Craven the Hunter or
Yeah, I'm curious about those.
whatever else Sony's doing that they're gonna mess up because they don't have the Spider-Man. They have all the
Well,
Spider-Man characters, but they don't have Spider-Man.
I'm just curious about his look. Like Craven the Hunter has a very specific look, and I
Yeah.
think you could easily, i- if you see it before you see the story, you might want to goof on it.
Yeah, and like I think Aaron Taylor John. And this is the way we planned to start the show, but here we are. Aaron Taylor Johnson's a great casting, I think.
Oh yeah,
But
and I can imagine him just getting bigger
yeah, but like,
because
what are
Craven
they?
needs to be a big dude.
Yeah. Oh, there's so much echo. Hold on one second. Let me see if I can fix that.
Is it me?
No, I don't think so. It might be me. Let me put on headphones. Thanks, Terry.
Oh, hey, hello, Mr. Teddy. I'm trying to get that link for our show right now.
All right, Terry. Let us know if that fixes things. Hopefully that does it. Uh, um. Yeah. So Uh, welcome everyone. So today Josh has gone to Europe or something or Mordor. I don't know. He got on an eagle and just left.
Got on the eagle. He
So
is in Battle World fighting Secret Wars.
yeah, actually he was recruited by Morbius and the Vulture. He went to meet him out in the desert. They're like, we need an art historian. You in?
I know
And
he
so
needs one of those moments where the government comes to you. We need an art historian to help us solve this problem.
you know, I think I wish it was because he's gonna go do that new National Treasure show on Disney Plus, but they couldn't get Nicolas Cage, so Josh is the only other option.
He's replaced Nicolas Cage.
Yeah, I mean, like, I don't know that I would watch that show without Nicolas Cage, but if Josh is in it,
Oh yeah.
I would. I would.
I
So
want him to wear like the Nicolas Cage. I want him to do the Nicolas Cage look. Like I want him to do the priest dance from Face Off. I want
yeah,
him to do the Ghost Rider look. I want him to go through all phases of Nick Cage, but just
the
Josh
leaving the when he did the
leaving
what's the
Las
dude from
Vegas.
leaving Las Vegas. So, all right. So on today's show, later on our main topic, we'll be finally talking about Kenobi season 1 on Disney Plus. So we'll go full spoilers on that later. As you can see, we are broadcasting live from Mustafar, Vader's Palace. Vader's Palace is actually pretty good location because it's got the big antenna in the back, so plenty of good internet, good broadcast sequence.
Now, have I told you about going to Mustafar?
I don't think so.
So a few years ago, I got to go down to Florida. A buddy of mine lives down there, and we went to Disney. And near it, they have a VR setup, and I think we have one in Texas out in Plano. And it's a whole VR setup in the Star Wars world, and you get to go in, suit up as a stormtrooper, pick your own colors, and you go in with a crew of people. And so it's the coolest thing I've ever. It's the closest to being in Star Wars I've ever been. You put on this VR pack and the backpack, which is a whole computer. So you're carrying like a gaming computer on the back. You put on these VR goggles and you're looking at, like, because you go in a group of 4, they're dressed as stormtroopers. You're dressed as a stormtrooper when you pull your hands up and look at them and you can see the colors on there.
Yeah.
And it takes you through a maze that's essentially like a story. You get these plastic things that are like guns that work in the game and you can see it shoot. You go through, they walk you through everything, but you actually fly over Mustafar and you can feel the heat. Like they have heat generators to make you feel like you're outside.
I bet it's
And
just they just open a window. They're here in Florida.
yeah, it's just like, but dude, it was the coolest experience. And it was like $50 to go through it. And you go through in like under 20 minutes. But when we got to, like my backpack started to mess up and they had to fix it. So they were literally just hitting the backpack to try to make it work. And they were going, oh, since y'all had a mistake happen through the show, you can go through again. So for $50, we got to go through it twice. And it's just the same storyline. You get to shoot. Darth Vader comes out and stops shit. And you're just inside the Empire, pretending to be a stormtrooper, but you're working for the rebels. It's the coolest fucking game I've ever played.
That sounds like how the Ghostbusters fixed their proton packs, where they just kind of like give it a good whip.
I know that same company has a VR package for the Ghostbusters, but it was the Ghostbusters from 2016 that they had done a big promo that you could go into the Ghostbusters story and you would have, you know, to be able to shoot at ghosts and stuff, but it's not the OG Ghostbusters.
Oh, okay.
Mr.
Hey,
Kyle.
Hey, what's up?
Hey, now, how are you?
doing?
Okay.
I think Kyle got stuck with a visitor's pass in Mustafar. They wouldn't let him up to the studio, but he's here now.
Too hot.
Very hot.
You know what? It really feels like we're in Mustafar. I'll tell you that. So we'll get to Kenobi a little bit later. So, but in the meanwhile, let's talk about some of the stuff that we've been watching, reading, doing. And I'll start briefly with some of the TV that I watched. The main thing I want to touch on is so season 3 of The Voice finished this week. You can go check out. I reviewed every episode of the season on the channel. But man, this was without a doubt the best season of The Voice we've ever
Really
had. It is so good. And I'm glad to report that Kripke has said that, you know, they're about to start working on season 4. So very excited to see where everything goes.
He's already said what's going to happen by the end of the series. Have you read that?
I haven't. No, I don't think I got to that announcement. That's cool.
He said Homelander has to die.
Oh, yeah. I mean, I think so, but will he? We'll see. Man, Anthony Starr is so good in that role.
You just have to show him drinking that milk, and that just creeps me the fuck out. Like, just that little thing he does with the nim, 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 nim.
Oh, that one's weird. It's a weird part of the show. But yeah, it's really good. So if you haven't seen it, go watch it. Also, check out the little Diabolical animated shorts. I rewatched the one about the Homelander's origin. It's really fun. They're each like 10-15 minutes long tops.
I've heard there's another spinoff too.
Yeah, I think they're working on something else. It's like, I forget what it is exactly.
I mean, are they going to bleed this thing dry? I mean,
yes. They are.
Okay.
They are.
Fuck. Yeah, it's Amazon. They're going to do whatever they can. They're ringing out Lord of the Rings for what they can get.
It's weird and it's if you're talking about The Boys, it's both weird and sexy.
Yeah, very.
Especially I think talking about maybe the Homelander milk thing. Yeah, that's also both. Anthony Starr's a good-looking dude. So.
Oh man, just that milk.
Yeah. So, as far as that goes, and then I have one more thing that I'll throw in the recommendations that's TV related, not really in TV though. So quick thing I'll touch on because I won't go too much into details here because I know a lot of people haven't got to watch Thor: Love and Thunder. I did. We have a full review in the channel, both non-spoilers and spoilers. So go check that out if you want to hear me rant about the movie. But overall, 2 thumbs up.
Okay, so, I have a personal question.
Okay,
Christian Bale, Batman, or Gore, the God Butcher.
Man, that's a tough one. That is really tough.
If you could have, let's say this. Let's say you could have one more movie, one more Nolan Batman movie, or you could see the God Butcher show up again later, let's say in Secret Wars or some big battle. Which one would you want to see more?
I think I would want to see more Gore the Butcher because I think we've seen as much, like we've seen the full arc of Batman. unless Christian Bale and Nolan are doing like some Dark Knight Returns type of thing, then maybe I could be swayed. But yeah, that's a good question. It's hard to pick. I think the main takeaway from this is that Christian Bale's just a fucking hell of an actor, and he can do whatever role that he needs to do. So
I know.
yeah,
I still wish they kind of had kept the original concept. I liked his face and
yeah,
the things and
yeah. I remember Taika Waititi talking about like they didn't want it to look so much like Voldemort,
yeah.
which makes perfect sense especially for the mainstream audience. And then I also remember Christian Bale talking about like he didn't want to be running around in like some thong,
Yeah.
right? Because Gore doesn't wear much in the comics other than
Yeah.
like a loincloth.
And a robe. Yeah.
Yeah. So really, really cool stuff.
I do have one spoiler question.
Okay, all right. I'll let you know if I answer it or not.
Okay, does he get the Necro Sword in the movie?
Yes. I'll be making a video about that later on. And we have a question in the chat as well from Terry. Is Natalie Portman's return wonderful? Yeah, she's great. She's great in this. I mean, I think she really embraced the changes in the role. So I really, really think she did a fantastic job. So yeah, I think everyone's great. Chris Hemsworth is also really good. Like he has just embraced this character, and the character's grown so much. Like Thor has gone through so much since the first movie to now that it's really, really wonderful to see. So yeah, go check it out. If you can't go check it out, if not, Disney Plus at least has it looks like they're gonna drop things now 45 days after the theater release. So I feel like they know that there's so much stuff at the theaters now that they're gonna make they're gonna make money this first 6 weeks, and then by then even they already probably have another Disney thing that's taken away from that money, so they might as well use it for the service to keep people subscribed. And it was July 4th on Monday, and I didn't feel like celebrating much, but I did want to watch some movies that happened on July 4th. So I watched Independence Day. I rewatched Independence Day, the Will Smith movie, and then I also watched Jaws. Both of them, because that leads up to the 4th of July. So both of them fantastic movies. I really love both of them. It was really nice to rewatch them. Trying to get out of the headspace. I did have a question on our Twitter poll. Who is a better pilot? Is it Will Smith from Independence Day or Tom Cruise from Top Gun?
And the correct answer is Val Kilmer for Top Gun.
Maverick, Iceman.
Iceman.
The people voted for Tom Cruise, Maverick. I disagreed with the. I mean, I'm not gonna question the people's voice, but I disagree. I think Tom Cruise has never flown into outer space.
But Randy Quaid has, so you could put Randy Quaid on the list as well.
Oh, that's true. That's true. He did. That scene gets me every time when he's like,
flying.
When he's like telling him like, say to tell my boys I love them, tell my kids I love them or whatever, and then he goes right up into the ship. I love that.
He stayed in that same character ever since, and that's very strange.
Well,
he's lost his mind.
Who knows what the aliens did to him?
He is so far gone from Cousin Eddie. Cousin Eddie seems normal.
That's my other. Yeah. I think I mentioned before that Vegas Vacation is one of my favorite vacation movies. I don't know why.
That's fucking weird. Did you see it first?
I think it's the one I remember I mentioned as a kid, we used to have HBO in the apartment complex we lived in, and I think that was one of the ones they had on a loop.
Repeat.
It was that and Chairman of the Board, right? So there was not a.
No, don't tell me you've seen Chairman of the Board more than once, because you shouldn't have seen it once.
I almost thought about doing a rewatch of Chairman of the Board to see now that I actually have the option to stop watching it, because back then it was like that was the only thing playing, right? That was the only movie. We only had the one HBO channel for free.
Man.
We're going to do a watch along with Chairman of the Board here on the channel when we get to 1,000.
Yeah, I still have to watch Old Boy. Old Boy actually has my birth date in it. It's a deadline for the main character. Yeah, July 5th is the deadline of the main character to find out some things. I saw that in today in movies.
Yeah, and Old Boy was an answer for that framed game. It's kind of like the Wordle, where they show you screenshots. I don't know if you guys play that. They show you like a screenshot of the movie, and then you have to guess what the movie is without any other knowledge. And then
Oh,
if you get it wrong, then you get more. Uh, then you
what
get
game
more
is this?
clues. It's called frame. Here, I'll let you go into your stuff. I'll pull up a frame, then maybe we can solve it online together.
Okay.
Some of them are
man.
pretty easy.
Yeah.
But some of them, I mean, I think there's it's a balance of like I either get it in one or I don't get it at all.
At all? Oh,
Yeah.
okay. It's that hard.
So this is today's frame. So they give you a frame from the movie.
Okay.
And that's it. And you can search whatever movie you think this is. I have no fucking clue. I'm thinking maybe Lucy, the Scarlett Johansson movie. So if you get it wrong, you get another frame as a clue.
I'm going to give you a hint. It's Jared Leto.
This is Jared Leto?
Jared Leto's in this movie.
It's fucking
Morbius.
Nope.
No. Fuck that movie about drugs.
Yes. With Jennifer Connelly.
Oh God.
Come on.
To a Dream. Requiem
for a Dream.
Requiem for a Dream. Yes. No, it was not.
It wasn't?
No. Look, we got it wrong.
Oh, son of a bitch.
Yeah, you really fucked me there, Clay. Thanks, man.
It was Morbius. That would
Is this an alien movie? This looks like Alien. I think it's Covenant or Prometheus or one of those. So that's what this game is. So then they do a new one every day. So
that does look like Prometheus because that was a really bad movie. Wrong.
It sure isn't. What the hell?
That's the ship from.
This is getting further and further from what I know. Like every new frame, it like resets to a new movie that I don't think it is.
Was that Eyeball Fassbender? Is this a different alien movie?
Maybe it's Covenant. No. Oh yeah.
Yeah, you got it. It was Covenant.
It was Alien Covenant. All right. So
holy
that's
shit. That's
there you
cool.
go. For anybody that doesn't play, it's frame.wtf. They do a new movie every day.
Interesting.
And
wow,
yeah,
that's okay. Cool.
Anyways, thanks for playing, everyone. And you can share it on social media. Real quick, let's see. I finally watched The Raid Redemption.
Yes, what'd you think?
Oh, fucking, it's great. It's great. So the reason I watched it is because they added The Raid 2 to HBO Max. And it was weird because I had to Google it, right? Because I found The Raid Redemption on HBO Max as well. And I was like, wait a minute. Is there a movie called like just The Raid 1? And then I read online that they had to rename it to Raid Redemption for whatever purposes. So it's The Raid Redemption and then The Raid 2, whatever the subtitle is. So, but yeah, those, I mean, I had seen some highlights of the movie, like in movie lists and videos and stuff. But yeah, Raid Redemption is great. Like the action, the fighting, like even the story. I definitely get why people compare that, or why people compare Dread 2012 to like the Raid movies.
Yeah, and you'll even see Warren Ellis does his own take on the Raid in Moon Knight. He has a Moon Knight where Mr. Knight goes through a building the exact same way it happens in the Raid Redemption.
I also can see like there's if you've seen the fight, the Old Boy fight from the Korean version. I guess the American one too, but it's not as well done. But yeah. So, and then the last thing I have on my list of movies and stuff that I watch, The Replacements with Keanu Reeves. I saw a tweet about sports movies, and I was already on HBO Max.
It was Gail Simone.
Yeah, that's what it was. I think Erica Henderson, a comic creator and editor, mentioned that was her favorite movie, and I was like, yeah, that's also my favorite movie. I just at least sports movie is one of my favorite ones. I love it. Keanu Reeves really is underrated as a sports star.
I think. He does regular guys so well.
Mm-hmm. For sure. So I really love it. I think some of the humor maybe didn't age as well because it is a movie from the early 2000s. But overall, like, it's really interesting. It's really funny that I guess they didn't want to pay for the NFL branding, so they just made up their own football teams.
Why would you pay for NFL branding? I mean,
Yeah.
they're supposed to be scabs. That's better.
Yeah, so really, really fun. So go check that out. All three of the let's see. Everything I watched is on HBO Max except for Jaws. That is on actually Independence Day is on Hulu. Jaws is on Peacock. And I like Peacock's movie model because you watch 3 minutes of commercials up front and then you can watch the whole movie without, like if you have the ad version of Hulu or of Peacock. So yeah, you just watch 3 minutes of ads. There's no ads in the movie at all.
That's just
like,
movies, not the TV
Yeah,
series.
just for movies, not the TV shows. TV shows play like if you're watching them with live TV.
Yeah.
I watched John Wick with commercials. It interrupted and played commercials in the movie.
On the regular, on the paid Peacock version, I only paid for the normal the lower tier for Peacock.
It's the lower tier.
Oh, that's weird.
Yeah, because it was weird getting commercials in the middle of that movie. Like they would have action sequences and it would just stop and go into a commercial.
I'll have to check that out because I don't think I've all the movies I watched on Peacock, like because I watched some of the things that they released their
I'm
original.
pretty sure I watched it on Peacock.
Halloween. I mean, because you could have watched it on the USA app, which is also an NBC app, and maybe that would have commercials. But yeah, plenty of good movies. Follow me on Letterboxd. Okay, follow me on Letterboxd if you want to know what I think of these movies a little more in detail. You can follow me at Echo Spider here. So yeah, let me pass it on to you, Clay. What you been up to?
Okay. This past Tuesday was my birthday. So I got some.
Happy birthday!
Thank you. Shelby got me. Remember, I was talking about Paul Smith art and how comforting it was because it was like during my favorite X-Men run. She got me an X-Men Unlimited Nightcrawler story, cool. And it's got Paul Smith art on the cover. And also, I love Essentials. She found me Essential Marvel 2-in-1.
Nice.
Volume 2. It's got everyone. Captain America, Daredevil, Miss Marvel, Black Panther, Moon Knight, Man-Thing. It is. I love it.
Those are the ones that are black and white inside, right?
Yeah.
Right, they're just black and white, but they're a lot of them. It's interesting because it is the Thing teamed up with someone, but it's an ongoing story in some where he just teams up with one character in an issue and then it continues into another one. But a lot of them are just solo standalone stories that I love because you could just pick it up and run with it.
It was just a companion piece to Marvel Team Up, whereas that was Spider-Man. This was the Thing.
Yeah. I watched John Wick 1 through 3 because I just love that movie. I'm not a big fan of 2 for some reason. Like when 2 comes on, I'm just kind of like,
that's what you said to Mark. You said it was like a filler movie.
Yeah, and
it does feel like it's just a bridge to get from 1 to 3. Like there's no story resolution on anything. Like it's just more action. Like I mean, the action's great. I think it's great. Like too. But yeah, the plot, like the villain is just like a pass-through guy that is not even really the main thing.
Right.
It's weird.
Yeah, it's filler, but it's great action. So, and watched them all on Peacock, but I did watch them with commercials, which was very weird.
That's interesting. I'll check that out this weekend. See what's going
on. For my podcast with Mark, the Unsocial Spectators, we are doing 1984, which I declare is the best year in movies. And I challenge y'all to a debate next weekend on the best year of movies.
I've been thinking about this a long time because I know I brought this up a while back on the show, and I'm torn. Whereas I'm willing to give it up.
Kyle, before you go too deep into that, and I do want to let you tease it. That's gonna be our show for next week fully. So just tease us with what you want to talk about, but then we'll actually debate next week with actual Mark. Hopefully we can get Mark on the show and talk about our favorite year in movies. But sorry to interrupt. Go ahead.
No, I was gonna say I almost find it as a dual companion. It's almost like a branch between 84 and 85. I think it's like the best just era period for movies in general.
Yeah, cool. 84, 85, 86 are pretty damn good. For 1984, I watched Beverly Hills Cop. And for those of you who weren't there in the 80s, there was nothing fucking bigger than Eddie Murphy in the 80s.
I was almost there.
And dude, this is the first of 7 movies that he would star in that would just drop at number 1.
Like, 7.
Yeah, he did like the next 7 movies he
I was
did.
like, there's 7 Beverly Hills
I
Cops.
know. That's right. That's what I was like. There's only 3 last time I checked.
There's 3 in a TV series that failed.
It's Clay's fan fiction that continues the saga of
Well,
Beverly Hills
it's-
Cops.
Yes.
It's no more. It's no more
Fade
worse.
in. Axel F. theme plays.
It's no more worse than realizing there's 6 Police Academy movies, an animated series, and a TV series.
Yeah.
That's the Beverly Hills Cops theme, right?
Don't put a
Everybody-
banana in my pipe.
Yeah.
It's also the premiere of Damon Wayans. He's the guy who gives him the bananas to put in the tailpipe.
Oh wow.
I do appreciate the comedic stylings of a lot of those Police Academy. Some of the jokes were definitely like of the time of the 80s, but there's a lot of good stuff that's just it. I like the subtle stuff more than like the raunchy jokes. I think the subtle stuff is even better.
1 is the best. 2 through 4 are good because Gutenberg's in there. After he leaves, it gets bad. 5 is still doable. 6.
I like Citizens on Patrol. I think that's Citizens on Patrol is really funny.
That's 4.
4. Okay.
Yeah. But that's the last one Gutenberg was in.
Okay, yeah, that one's really funny.
Not to mention they had a live action TV series that starred Michael Winslow.
There was a live action TV series?
Oh god, hang on.
Oh shit.
That's crazy.
I want to see the credits for this because I'm sure I would have seen it as a kid. Holy shit. They did I swear, man, it's so weird to see them adapt stuff that was such a raunchy show or movie. I can't imagine
that. Yeah, that they haven't brought back like some kind of Police Academy sitcom or something. I guess Brooklyn Nine-Nine is kind of a spiritual successor to that almost.
Probably.
Almost, yeah.
Yeah, but yeah, I like those movies. That's good. That's a good. But yeah, you're almost to my birth year, Clay. So there you go. I'm excited to see what the 86 one's gonna be. There was a lot of good movies that year. There was a lot of good movies.
There are a lot of good movies, but in 1984, man, like nothing was fucking bigger than Eddie Murphy. Like he had been on SNL for 4 years. I'm trying to think of the next movie he would do after this. I'm pretty sure the next year it's Trading Places with Dan Aykroyd, which was huge.
I like that movie too. Yeah.
Here we go.
But let's see it.
All right, I'm in the chat.
Oh, okay.
Oh yeah.
I want to see this. Like, well, I want to see the animation style and who put it out. What?
Yeah. You remember the animated series for Police Academy, right?
No.
God, I want to show that one too. Holy fuck!
Yeah, because that's where I'm like,
this is the live action.
Okay, let's see the live action.
Yeah, I'll share it. Give me 1 sec. Yeah, that one. I remember the animated stuff probably better than.
Oh god,
it seems close.
I kind of see it in my head because I want to say it has the same animation style as Bill and Ted.
Here we go. Hopefully, this is all playing correctly. We'll see.
Who? Who are these people? Oh, Joe Flaherty.
I don't know anyone in those credits other than
you know Joe Flaherty. You know Joe Flaherty.
You think I know Joe Flaherty?
Joe Flaherty was.
Oh yeah, I know.
He's the guy who he's trying to irritate Adam Sandler.
He's the dad on Freaks and Geeks too.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah.
And I have a second link in there for the animated series intro.
But for you old fuckers, SCTV. He ran SCTV, and that was the best. Guy Caballero.
Or Dracula.
Oh shit, that's right. I forgot he did that.
I grew up watching SCTV and their first couple seasons of Nick at Night on SNL on Nick at Night.
Let's see.
Oh, it lasted 1 year.
Come on, stick 'em. They fight for justice. They stand up for the truth. They save us from the power of a cowardly crew. They protect the rights of all citizens. When it's time to fight, they fight to win. They're tested, tried and true. They keep the peace for you and me. Hooray, the police academy.
Oh, that rap is horrible.
Yeah.
The rap was
Yeah.
awesome.
This episode has a lot more Police Academy than I thought it might have.
Oh yeah.
Was that supposed to be Bobcat Goldthwait's character that was
yeah.
on the hang
Yeah,
glider?
It was, right? Okay,
Go
okay.
back. Yeah, hit everybody.
Cool.
Because you're always fighting crime on hang gliders.
Kite Man. Hell yeah.
Kite Man. He looked like Captain Caveman with that hair.
Almost. Yeah.
Ah.
I like, yeah, because they had to. I like that in cartoons. Like, even if your hair is only a little bit red, they'll make it like completely red. Or like how they change what is it, Egon's hair to blonde.
Yeah, like super
for the
tall blonde.
cartoon, just to make it. Kids need to be able to tell them apart. You can't just have all the characters looking the same. Which maybe you should cast the more diverse actors in real life, but whatever.
It's a choice.
Yeah. Cool. What else, Clay? Yeah. You got
Oh
some-
yeah, I wanted you to go ahead and if you could pull up that link. I bought some Micron pins because I've been doing Gundam action figures, and the Micron pins like help give you so much more detail. And so I took that and started messing with some of the Gundams that I already had. I also had like a Modoc. Do you remember a PlayStation, or like it wasn't PlayStation? What was the actual thing? Playmation. Yeah, that figure.
Cool.
Like they put out a figure a while back of Modoc that was supposed to be part of a game, and the game failed. And I loved that figure, and I just took one of these Micron pins to help kind of flesh it out. And I'd gotten a couple of Thor: Love and Thunder Happy Meal figures and fleshed those out because they're pretty plain. But I got a Groot and a Star-Lord, and just kind of
cool.
Yeah,
Okay,
like you see how the Micron kind of gives it
like
more
adding
detail.
the little shading and the detail and stuff. Yeah, that's pretty dope.
Yeah, they are fucking great because I ordered for my birthday. My mother-in-law got me a gift certificate to Amazon, and next week where's my Monday I will be getting my Marvel Crisis Protocol with Rocket, Groot, Power Man, and Iron Fist.
Nice.
It's the figure-based game. And so I wanted to get some of these Micron pins to test on those figures. And so I've just tested them on my Gundams. I've tested with spray paint, leaving it flat and just trying the ink on it. And so you can kind of see the different tones. Like that one leg is just completely spray painted black because I wanted to see how that would stand out. And then I've just tried to kind of make them look like that shield is painted versus the flat against the model on the back.
Yeah, add the little detail. Yeah.
But
Cool.
yeah, so those Micron pins are great. I bought 3 for like $10 at Michael's.
I really like how this came out.
The Modoc.
Modoc. Yeah. Like it reminds me of like the DC released some. I think they're called like the line figure series that is just like a black and white. Like they're black and white. Yeah, it kind of looks kind of like that. So
yeah. So yeah, if I get more of those, I'm gonna just start kind of like fleshing them out with those pins because it's great practice. And it already has like some of the detail in it. The Modoc was a little different, And I almost wish I had some more different colored pens to kind of flesh it out a lot. So
Yeah, like some
so
gray tones and stuff. I like that you fill in the teeth. All that look pretty cool.
yeah, and
Neat. Very neat.
that is it.
All right, Kyle, you want to tell us a little bit about what you've been up to?
Yeah, let's see. I read Dark Crisis #2. It kind of deals with Deathstroke launching his assault on Titan's tower, and basically realized Pariah is the one kind of controlling everything at the moment. You have Deathstroke say he's going to take on Nightwing 1-on-1, and Nightwing ends up beating him in a dual Eskrima fight. And he goes basically who's going to fight him next, and then basically Superman intervenes, save everybody in real life, and then basically Black Adam comes in and basically says, "I'm going to lead everything." And he goes, "Where have you been?" He's like, "Well, even my home country has been attacked by Deathstroke's forces." So Deathstroke apparently is like the Pariah's king pawn to launch all these attacks.
Yeah. This series is for it just being on issue 2. It's been really, really good.
Yeah.
Who's writing it?
Joshua Williamson. And it almost feels like if you know a lot of the lore of the DC and like all the crisis and stuff, like you see a lot of things, but I don't think you need to know. Like you can just kind of jump on this series, and as long as you read the Justice League 75 where the Justice League dies, like you'll get the main story. Like you get a lot more if you know like who Pariah is and who's what they've done in the past and all that stuff. And then the relationships between all these characters, especially like Deathstroke and Nightwing. Like I don't know, I would say Slade Wilson is Nightwing's like #1 villain.
Yeah.
Right. So
and he did would be Blockbuster.
Which
given that Blockbuster was like his main #1 villain back in the original late '90s.
Maybe. Series. And Blockbuster is actually the big villain in the Nightwing stuff right now.
Yeah,
too.
So it's kind of hard to. It's more like Blockbuster is his Lex Luthor, whereas Deathstroke is his Ra's al Ghul.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, that's a good metaphor right there. I like that. I like that comparison.
Whereas Superman it'd be Superman's Lex to his dark side.
Yeah.
And then I also read, this was an interesting, Buffy 97. So this is it's sort of, from what I can tell, a sort of retelling of Buffy in 97. So it starts off with they're at the mall, and it's just got Buffy and Willow, and you got Giles who's trying to bowl because he's got a date, and then apparently the vampire who's trying to atone for his sins is Spike instead of Angel.
So that's the twist, is Angel isn't in it and it's Spike?
Well, we don't know. It's just issue 1. We don't know if Angel's going to be in there, if he's still a villain. There's mention of Xander's, but then Buffy says Xander's not coming, and they get trapped by some demon in this magazine, which they finally get out, and then apparently, what do you call it? While they're dealing with the demon in the magazine, Spike is still at the bowling alley trying to help Rupert bowl better, and he goes, "Here, why don't you help me try to be nice and how to try to get better in with Buffy." And it just deals with the very end where Buffy still hates him. It's like, you used to try to kill me, and now, hey, I'm trying to atone for my sins, and it's different because, like I said, Spike's sort of in the Angel role.
Yeah, that was pretty fun because of just the look and feel of it. Like they really made it feel like it was a 90s thing, and you could see how that would be like maybe like a one-off episode of Buffy.
But apparently it's a different universe. Because I don't think it's a one-off. I think it's ongoing.
Yeah, they've been doing a lot of things like that to celebrate the 25th years.
Who's writing it?
Oh Lord.
Give me a second. I should know that too. I have it on. I
was going to say, because I didn't figure that they were having Joss come back and redo.
No. He has not been involved in any of that stuff other than probably receiving some kind of royalty paycheck.
Once you sign all the rights off, you ain't got nothing to do with it.
Yeah, I like all the books still say,
bye,
but other
like
than
I said, there's nothing wrong with still liking Buffy just because someone's a piece of
right,
trash.
exactly. Here I'm looking through the reviews because I know I did a review for that one.
Because I started rewatching episodes of Angel season 1 last week. I forgot how good the series was.
I know. I remember Angel like every week watching Buffy and Angel and going, man, how will Angel ever compete with Buffy? And every week it outperformed that show. Like they would do stuff that just made it better and better. And I even remember like the last episode where they go, let's go slay the dragon, just being like the best way to end that show.
Yeah, unless you read the comics afterwards.
Yeah, that's true.
It was written by Jeremy Lambert and Mariana Ignaciart. So I don't know much about Jeremy Lambert, but it was good. It was a good book. It was fun. It had a really cool look to the art as well. Here, I'll show you guys.
They should have done a chromium cover. They should have done real 90s shit.
They might have. I know I got a cover by Meg Hutchinson Cates. Really cool.
Oh, really? I didn't know she
yeah.
did a Buffy cover. Cool.
Yeah, here. I have some art from the review.
Oh, those clothes.
Yeah, I know. Yeah. It is 90s. Holy shit.
It's super 90s. Yeah, that was a good one. Good one. What else, Kyle?
And then a new podcast I've been listening to. It's Pod Meets World. It's basically Danielle Fishel, Will Friedle, and Ryder Strong coming back and talking about how they really never watched the series growing up, except maybe like the first couple seasons, and how they're rewatching the series now and just
Boy Meets
World. Yeah. And so, because of that, I've started rewatching episodes of Boy Meets World season 1 this week, and episode 2. The first they had they had the intro, which was like a minute. They had the first one, which is them taking about TGIF, kind of how they got into the series, and how even Ryder said, "I never watched anything. Like I almost didn't want to be here." Talks about like how when he had a girlfriend, like he wanted to be a movie like actor. He didn't ever really want to sign for a what do you call it? He wanted. Okay, let me put it this way. The way he put it is he wanted to be. Oh no, I did about it. This was Will Friedle. Will Friedle said he wanted to be Michael J. Fox, not from Back to the Future. He wanted to be Michael J. Fox from Family Ties. He wanted to actually be, and so he got that. Ryder Strong wanted to do actually go more theater and film, and even his he'd been on one TV series, and then basically gets, and then his agent says, "Why don't we try for this?" And he actually gets it, and he signed 7 years. He says at one point where he calls his girlfriend, at 12 years old, his full-time girlfriend, "Yeah, oh my God, I'm gonna be 20 before this is over. I'm dead now." And so and then, but of course now he's about to be 42. He has a 7-year-old son, and he's a stay-at-home dad while his wife is an actress, is doing a film. And so he's actually watching the series as they go along with his son.
Cool.
And so episode 3 was episode 1. Episode 4 actually brought William Russ, or as they call him, Rusty, who was the dad on the show. And they talk about him and his thing. And then episode 5 is them talking about episode 2, which is a heavy, William Russ episode. But it's just a lot of fun hearing them talk about the series and where it's, and just kind of going back and watching and hearing their point of view from it.
I do enjoy podcasts where they revisit shows that they were on that have like withstood the time.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think I follow one of them on TikTok, one of the 3 hosts, or maybe a few.
Well, it's only 1 or 2 because Will Friedle has no social media presence whatsoever.
That's smart.
Yeah.
Oh, you know who it is? No, it's not. It's not even somebody that was on the show. It's Carly Romano. She does a lot of stuff.
Christy calls Romano because she does. She also does it for She does the I Hear Voices podcast with Will Friedle also.
It's that. I think she promoted that stuff for Will. So very cool, very very cool. Maybe check that out. I like listening to the Office Ladies podcast, which is kind of the same thing with 2 people from the Office.
I forgot a little bit of a manga on Shonen Jump. 2 manga series that I've
manga update.
Yeah, there's Dr. Stone, which is interesting. I think a lot of people have been into it already, but basically takes place on Earth, current time. An eruption happens and basically turns everybody into stone. So over 1,000 years goes by, and this one guy who had been turned to stone is able to break out, and come to find out that another guy who had been, I guess, a friend of his, had been broken out a year and a half before, and so they're trying to go through and trying to figure out what happened and trying to figure out if they can get other people out of these like stone kind of hibernation things. So. I've only first couple chapters in that, and then another one called Chainsaw Man.
Dude, Chainsaw Man rocks.
Oh, good.
So this one is a dude who basically makes a deal with a demon who looks like a dog who has a chainsaw for a nose, and it merges with his heart, and he has like this cord that sticks out of his heart, and basically, when demons attack, he becomes a Chainsaw Man, where he has chainsaws coming out of his hands and his face. Because like a superhero.
Yeah, it's really interesting. Like his.
I don't see him saving people. That seems like you would just kill people.
Well, Kyle, have I got good news for you? The Chainsaw Man anime drops this fall.
Nice.
So,
Holy shit.
It looks insane. You should go look at the trailer later. It looks like the animation looks insane for this.
Who's putting it out?
I think it's on Crunchyroll.
Okay.
Most of the new anime stuff that I'm waiting for is going to be on Crunchyroll since Funimation and then fused.
Yeah.
So cool. I got a few more comics to talk about. Kyle, do you have anything else?
Go for it. You know, I guess it was about. I might keep it for my recommendation.
Okay, cool. So I read a few things. Once again, I got some time to read some books for myself. I'm trying to catch up on Star Wars stuff. Like I've been really behind on the Star Wars books. So I read Star Wars Darth Vader Volume 3, which is the War of the Bounty Hunters.
I
But then
want to read this.
I really liked it, but then I got to like issue 14, and then it said like continued in War of the Bounty Hunters. So I paused. I went to read the War of the Bounty Hunters event just to make sure I didn't miss anything, and then I read the rest of the Darth Vader volume. So I buy pretty much all the Star Wars comics, but I don't read them immediately. So I already had them in my library. But really good stuff. Greg Pak is Vader. Like every time we get a new team, I'm like, how is this going to get even close to like what Charles Soule and Kieran Gillen did? And that's what I thought when Charles Soule came on, and then from Kieran Gillen's run, like it was really good. But like each one has made it really their own, but they're all really cool. Like maybe just Darth Vader's really cool as a character to follow along with. And I really like that all this stuff is finally setting up. Like as you guys know, there's a Crimson Reign series going on right now, and you get to see all the little seeds and stuff that are planning for that. Really cool stuff. So I can't wait to get into. I think Crimson Reign, the last issue, hits maybe in the next week or maybe next couple weeks. So I'll be reading that also by Charles Soule. And
Charles Soule is like a consultant with Star Wars
pretty
now.
yeah. I mean he's pretty much him, and a few other people are molding the whole everything that's High Republic. It's made by them.
Yeah.
So yeah, Charles Soule pretty big piece at the Star Wars camp right now.
Could say he's a Star Wars
cool.
influencer.
Oh, more than that, he's
molding.
close to being like with Filoni and Favreau
Favreau.
are for the comics and books, I think. So really cool stuff. And then also there's a comic coming out this week called Wonder Woman Evolution number 8. This is written by Stephanie Phillips with art by Mike Hawthorne. So I went ahead and read issues 1 through 7 so I could read number 8 so I could put out a review this week. Man, I really like that series a lot. It's really fun. You guys know, I think we bring up Stephanie Phillips every once in a while on the podcast because she does great comics.
I think we all have a favorite of hers that we read.
Something. So I'm excited. I'm excited that she's having a Marvel book coming out soon too. So very excited for that. And then the last thing, let me go over some of the books that I picked up this week. Sabretooth finally wrapped up. Also another really cool series. I got two covers. I got the Peach Momoko because anytime I see a Peach Momoko cover, I have to pick it up. Which is why I also picked up Captain America Sentinel of Liberty number 2. This book's still really good. I did a review for this on the channel if you want to take a look at that. But it continues to be really cool. Like Kyle mentioned earlier, Dark Crisis, just such a cool cover in front of Titan's Tower. Like if you know the relationship between these guys, and most of the stuff I get from for Deathstroke and Nightwing's relationship comes from me watching the Teen Titans animated, the old one from the Cartoon Network one. So yeah, really cool stuff. Also, Batman 125, of course, new Batman book. Chip Zdarsky's writing this one. Josh read it and he put on our Discord that he doesn't read the ongoing Batman, but he also feels like it's a good jumping on point. Because I said that on my review as well, but I wasn't sure. I mean, sometimes I'm a little biased towards Batman, but I'm glad to hear from Josh.
Nah.
But I'm glad to hear from Josh that he does feel like it's a good. The only question he had was, how did Bruce lose his fortune? And then my answer was Joker War. That's all I said. I didn't really go into details. But later on this week, I'll be making a video on about the Batman 125 issue. Like not so much a review, but a video of something else that I want to talk about. And then also, this is another cover I picked up for Sabretooth.
Holy
Isn't that fucking wicked?
Whoa, who did that?
Maria Wolf. Oh, dude,
Wow.
her covers are fucking insane. So yeah,
I was going to ask, Peach Momoko did an alternate cover for that Marvel RPG test book.
I did see that, the Scarlet Witch one, right?
It's the Scarlet Witch one. I was going to say, were you going to pick that up?
I might, if I go to a bookstore, I want to go find that in the wild because I don't want to order it online. I'm trying to see if maybe there's like a sale at Barnes and Noble or something.
Yeah, I wouldn't pay full price for it because it is just a test playbook. So
another insane book, Liam Sharp, Starhinge Book 1.
Yes,
this book is so weird. I had to read it twice to really understand what's going on. But the premise is that Merlin goes into the future to get some information to save the world, something like that. It's really weird, but it's Liam Sharp, so it looks incredible inside.
If it's Liam Sharp art, I'm gonna get it. I love that dude. I got his art book he put out, and it's fucking amazing because he works in so many different styles. And when I saw that book coming, dude.
Yep. I definitely agree. Something
else I think I got an issue 0 with that came with the hardback because it was part of the Kickstarter.
Oh, nice. Batman 89 finally wrapped up, so y'all should go catch up on that.
I did read that.
Yeah, it's really fun. And then are you reading this too? Flashpoint Beyond?
No.
It's really good. Like, I know Flashpoint's
I'm burnt out on Flashpoint.
I was going to say, how do you go beyond Flashpoint?
Well, they did it.
Because you got Batman, who's now in the multiverse, and that's how they're doing it.
Yeah. It all has to do with the
Thomas Wayne. Batman's now in the multiverse. So
now, if you want something different that's not tied into 70 years of continuity, Patrick, there's something wrong with Patrick Todd from Aftershock. This is written by Ed Brisson with art by Gavin Goodry. It's really cool. Really cool. I don't even want to go into details because I think, let me show you the opening page because I think you'll. This is the opening page.
Holy shit.
Aftershock's been doing some really fun stuff. I wish they would send us comics to review. I've reached out. So if anybody's watching. And then the last two things.
They're the one holdout? Them and Marvel?
No, Marvel's really ignoring me. And then also, of course, more Hellfire Gala covers.
Oh, God. Is
so
that Havoc?
Yeah, it's just Havoc. And Dazzler. Which is not as dazzling as I would have thought, but...
That is the lamest of all. Dazzler would have to be like the biggest, brightest costume.
Also, for some reason, this is on a Black Panther book. Havoc is on the Legion of X book, which has nothing to do with his team. Yeah, I do like that they're letting different artists do this Hellfire. I mean, as much as I love Dodderman's art, I'm glad they're letting other artists take a crack at it because I think it's really fun. But that's it. Yeah, lots of comics, lots of comic reviews coming out next week. We got some fun stuff.
Is the Hellfire Gala going to be an annual thing?
I think so because the next issue, the Hellfire Gala for this year comes out this week. I wish I had the review copy so I could read it right now and work on it this weekend. But yeah, we'll have reviews for that, and also Evil Judgment, which is the big Marvel event with the Avengers and Eternals and the X-Men. That's also kicking off this week with one of those. So we'll be talking about that in the channel.
All right.
I think that's it. Other than that,
I got one more thing.
Pal.
Oh yeah.
So I finally made it out to Louisville yesterday just to check out a comic shop that I hadn't been to yet called Comic 21.
I haven't heard of that. Where's that?
Comic 2011 Comics out in Firemound.
Oh, okay.
And they've been around for a little bit. It wasn't bad. So I found on some of their stuff. I found, and I know I have these, but I don't know where. So I went and picked it up. The single issues were pounded, all 3 for $10.
What is that?
Oh, dude, that's an awesome book.
Steve Ralston, Ryan Wood, one of my favorite series of all time. Early from like either 2000 or 2001 or maybe 2002 from Oni Press.
It's the Steve Ralston art for me. That is when I loved his art. He did the first volume of Queen and Country, but man, I love Pounded just for his work on that.
He had all 3, and for $10, I was like, fuck it. And then I found,
that's a good book.
In some of their discount bins, I found Battlestar Galactica #4.
Nice.
And 5.
Sweet.
And anytime you look at any other place, these are going for like $15 or $20 a pop. And I'm like $1 for each, and they're not bad condition. Okay, I'll pick them up.
Yeah.
And then another Marvel #1. I had never read it, but The Destroyer.
Huh?
Who the hell is that?
I don't know.
Maybe it's
I don't know.
Maybe it's a character that Sony will put on a TV. Like
It was only a 4-issue limit series, so but I was just looking another #1 I need for that collection. So
what's the wrestler they're gonna do? A Diablo or Mascara or never mind. Sony's doing a movie about a Spider-Man villain that came out in 1 issue.
Yeah.
Oh, you mean the wrestler he fought?
Yeah.
Crusher Creel or something like not Crusher Creel.
No.
But like,
I don't remember, but this is 2011 comics. I wanted to check.
Nice.
It's cool. It looks like a nice shop. Like they have
oh wow,
plenty of room here. Looks like gaming tables.
That's their old location. I don't think that's not what they look like inside.
Oh, that's their old location.
Yeah, the place I went to is they moved.
Because that looks nice.
Ooh, I like these. The Valley.
Yeah,
and the guy was really nice. I mean, I felt like
Oh, is this a new location? This looks.
That's the old location.
Oh, okay.
That's not what I walked into yesterday.
Oh, okay. Well, I don't have it looks like we don't have a picture of the new location.
That's more of what it looks like inside.
Oh, okay. So maybe these are more recent. Cool. Yeah. I mean, they do gaming and stuff. Cool. Maybe I'll need to go check it out. Flower Mound is not too far. Let's see.
I was just in the area and I was like, I wonder if they're open. But the last time I checked, I tried to go on a Sunday and they were closed for that one day. And I was like, damn it.
Yeah. Sometimes that happens where I'm like, I can finally go pick up my comics, and then Titan isn't open on Sundays.
I know.
Let's see.
That's weird because most comic shops are closed on Mondays.
Oh, whoa,
I know.
Sorry, I was doxing myself.
Showing where you live.
I now know where you live.
Well, I don't care if you guys know where I live. I more care about the internet strangers.
I miss going to some comic book stores because I just have, since I've been cataloging, I have a list of stuff I've been looking for, so I can pull up just a list of what I need to fill in. So I would love to just sit in a comic book store and just go through a quarter box and just pile stuff I need.
Cool. Yeah, that looks like a nice place. I'm gonna go check that out. It is like 20 minutes away from my house, so.
Dude, why aren't you there?
Right now it's hot. I don't want to leave for that long, but yeah, I might do it in the fall. Go visit them. Cool. Well, also remember Miss Marvel season finale this week. So if you guys haven't watched, have you guys been watching Miss Marvel?
We're behind 2 episodes.
It's been hard to get into it. I just haven't really been.
Okay. I mean, it's gonna be only
maybe
6.
later.
Yeah,
maybe
probably
later,
once it's all out, it'll be easier to consume all at once.
Yeah.
There's some really neat stuff. I won't go into details since you guys are behind. Or
do you guys realize? Do you know who the clandestine is now?
I do now.
X-Men characters.
And I know they brought them back too. Like they're in the Miss Marvel series because I've read a little bit of that.
Since they can't do Inhumans.
Yeah. No, but yeah, I guess no, but I mean they were in the Miss Marvel comic as well.
Oh, okay.
So they're characters from the comic. So either they updated them for that. Like I said, I don't know the through line from X-Men to, or from the old clandestine to this new version of them.
Here we go. Here I got a picture I can show. Hold on.
I was gonna say that the clandestine, I always see Alan Davis art.
That's who it is. It's the Alan Davis characters.
Yeah. Okay. So I think they updated that for the Miss Marvel series.
Yeah.
Okay, cool.
Yeah, cool show. I can't wait for this week's episode to finish that off.
Oh, I haven't seen it yet, but I do know I read about what happens in Thor, but I'm happy to know what happens at the post credit scenes for Thor.
Stay for that. There's 2 of them, so make sure to stay for that. I'll be making some videos on that too because I have some interesting thoughts.
Do I want to be spoiled? Do I just want to ask and see?
It's who we're getting added to the universe that I'm happy about.
No, I think it'll be a nice surprise, Clay. I don't.
Okay. All right, then I'll wait because like if Kyle's excited, I kind of want to know.
Yeah. I also don't want to put it out in the podcast because a lot of people may not have seen it.
Yeah.
But yeah, it's fun. Yeah. So go. If you, like I said, if you can go see it, go see it. If not, then hopefully it will be out on Disney Plus soon. I definitely want to rewatch
Plex server. If it was on a Plex server, I certainly would watch it.
Yeah, those are harder to see.
It's not Morbius.
Morbin time.
Boy.
All right, are we ready to dig in?
You call them. Yeah, let's move on to our main topic. So for the audio listeners, this is where you should be picking us up. We're going to talk about Obi-Wan Kenobi season 1 on Disney Plus, 6 episodes. They're all directed by Deborah Chow. So what do you guys think overall? What was your impression of the series?
I liked it. I liked it a lot. I kind of hope we get a season 2. I mean, I know it was meant to be like a film originally and probably a standalone thing, but I kind of hope we kind of get a season 2 just because I'd like to. I know by the end of it, he's in a different place than he was at the beginning of it, but then we still have, and then it'll be a 5-year gap, maybe a 6 or 7 year gap between his appearance in Rebels. But I'd like to know kind of like if what might have happened in there from there to there.
Yeah.
Like maybe I don't want to get. I guess we're gonna.
Oh, here, let's do that. Yeah, we're gonna go full spoilers on this, so you've been warned. And yeah, I forgot to say that. Yeah, there's no way we can talk about this series without going into spoilers.
I mean,
So,
it ends with him, seeing Qui-Gon and realizing as a ghost. And I want to know what happens kind of in that training period. Like how he's a broken down shell of himself at the beginning of the series, and he has more confidence. But then when he finds Qui-Gon at the end of the series, and you realize, okay, then he's going to build himself even more to what we see in A New Hope. So I would like to see a little bit more of that too.
Yeah, I'm curious to see that relationship. I really wanted to see Obi-Wan leave Raya with Luke at the end. I wanted her to have more of a character arc than just what she had in the story because it seemed kind of useless.
Yeah,
I would love to have seen.
We still
yeah,
might.
It would be neat to see a twist where Obi-Wan wasn't on Tatooine the whole fucking time because that seems insane. But maybe her redemption was staying on Tatooine to oversee Luke, and that's a new, retcon to the story because her redemption doesn't seem that all worthwhile in the last episode, and I was just kind of bummed by it. I felt like she could have given more, and we could have seen Obi-Wan go off on more adventures and not stay on the planet the whole fucking time.
Not even that, and the fact that Owen and his wife, are taking on this Sith Lord, not Sith Lord, but Inquisitor, and in New Hope, all they get is fried to their bones, and I'm just like, it seems like.
And that was my favorite thing because that gave me a total new view of them. That they knew what they were getting into and that they were always prepared. So it makes me think of A New Hope. Yeah, that they didn't go out like old bitches. They took the fight to the stormtroopers.
Yeah, they were.
You hope.
Yeah,
they were ready when he was a kid. I feel like if they were ready when he was a kid, they constantly had to be on high alert.
And we get to see why Uncle Owen has a limp in his leg, right? We learned that he gets hurt there, and Aunt Beru is just like kicking ass. Like she's like this almost like a doomsday prepper. Right. Which is really cool. But yeah, that would tell me that whenever the Empire finally came, or whatever in episode 4, or was it Tusken Raiders?
It was the Stormtroopers, but they say it was
the Stormtroopers. Yeah. Okay. Yeah, whenever they came, like they probably put up a fight, and because I don't know. I guess throughout all this time, we just assumed that they just got killed, which could have happened. I mean, if they caught them by surprise, right? But
I mean, they've had time to plan. They could have made that whole place a booby trap. For any incoming stormtroopers because it's so desolate. You could see anyone coming. Yeah, I mean, she had when Rey is coming, they know she's coming. And she's coming and not Reva. And
when you said the first, I was like, Rhea? Hold on a second. No, yeah, she's I mean, she was definitely hurt, right? Stabbed in the gut.
She got stabbed.
Everyone gets stabbed in this show, but it's okay. Maybe they have multiple. We know for a fact the Grand Inquisitor has multiple stomachs. But it's funny because all these characters that get stabbed or killed, they just live through hate, right? Maul, we know. I know he wasn't in the series, but he comes back. He lives. And then Reva,
half the man he used to be.
But then Qui-Gon, he also got stabbed and he died because he has no hate in his heart. So that didn't keep him alive. Cool. I really like the show a lot, and I think I did a disservice to myself being impatient as I was watching it and trying to like do the gymnastics of like how do we get to episode 4 from here, right? Where I should have just let it play out. But in my head, I don't know. It's just something that I I want to see if I can get to the next thing. And there were a few things that I was like, yeah, I mean, all this stuff can happen, and it doesn't really affect in the long run where we are. Um, this show was kind of, they say the joke is that it was built on a throwaway line from Empire or from New Hope, where Vader says, "I haven't seen you since," and then he stops. He doesn't say where he last saw Obi-Wan, right? So we didn't know. I mean, we assumed that it was at the end of episode 3
of the Sith. Yeah.
But it's not, obviously, because he sees him here a whole bunch more, and I like that. I like that a lot. I love in the first episode the mundane life that he's. I mean, I don't love it for him, but I just love how it's portrayed. Like that's what it would be. That's an office job in Tatooine, right?
Yeah.
So anybody that has had an office job that you hate, like, you could definitely relate, because it's like, yeah, you just go in, clock in, try to like get through the day, steal supplies, right? And then
Get a little something, a little snack.
Just that little thing he does, like he nobody sees him. He just takes his hands, cuts a little bit of that little beef off, that little meat off, and he has it done so nicely. And then he just kind of goes and clocks out. Like it's like
Tatooine looks like it has the worst food in the entire universe. There's nothing. Everyone is eating like dead animals that have been in the sand.
Or those
it's just
those portions that the little
Ray.
Oh no, the best are the Jawas.
Oh yeah.
If
the egg.
If you're gonna try to resell me my piece, could you at least clean it off first, or fix it up or something?
That's extra.
I just think of those Jawas just getting that egg yolk and just eating it.
Oh yeah.
Was it? What's the woman's name from Mandalorian? Yeah, they're hairy.
Amy Sedaris' character. I can't remember.
Yeah.
Oh my gosh. What do you guys think of seeing O'Shea Jackson show up in this?
I was a little underwhelmed by his character. I like what he did overall, but I hope that this was just. I don't hope that everything gets a spinoff, but I would like to see a spinoff of his group.
It's just a small, tiny group of rebels that have survived, and I really was kind of like going, how does this small group grow?
Yeah,
how did they become?
These are all seeds, right? These are all seeds to what we find out later. So yeah, it's really cool. I had once again me doing the service to myself. Like, is he gonna play the Jedi that they mentioned? What's his name? Quinlan Voss.
Yeah, Quinlan Voss.
Because it would definitely seem like it could have happened, but it doesn't. I think one of my favorite new characters. It was two of them, because you guys know I love droids. Tala was really cool. I was very sad.
Tough.
I was very sad to see that the character won't be seen anymore. But Tala was really cool, and also that droid.
That Leia had?
No, the Tala's droid.
The tall, quiet one.
Yeah.
Oh, I'd seen that was played by Kevin Smith.
That was a joke because he's Silent Bob.
I was like, what? Okay.
There was I felt a little bit short stacked on that one, because like there's the thing where the stormtroopers are trying to talk to him and he's not answering because he's not programmed to. But then he sees he's got like a pipe in his hand behind his back. I was like, I wanted to see him just beat the ever living crap out of the stormtroopers. Sure.
But once again, this show making me feel emotions for a droid when he's dying. Like at the end of Rogue One, same thing. Yeah. Like, I love K2SO, and seeing him put his blaster up, like he finally got a blaster. And he goes down, taking out as many troopers, and then Tala and this droid, same thing, right? So very cool character. I really love her. I forget the name of the actress, but she was in Game of Thrones. She was one of the Sand Snakes.
I did remember her from that.
So really cool. I will say that in episode 1, the whole sequence where it's at night and the other Jedi is finally finding Obi-Wan. Deborah Chow does this like handheld thing that made me feel nauseous. And when I was watching it, I was what the fuck is happening? Well, I mean, it was so good. It was so well done, because it was like you could feel like the desperation and everything. Yeah. But when I was watching it, I was like, oh my God. But it was really well done. Like, it was all very dark, and you feel the tension as you get to see it from different angles. Like, something is approaching Obi-Wan, but you don't know what it is.
there is better cinematography in this series than there was in the prequels.
Oh,
Like this basically adapted to me, felt like an adaptation of the prequels in a better action format series.
well, I think it has a lot to do with they were actually out in the real world as opposed to in a big stage, right? I don't
Yeah.
think. I think the Mandalorian has improved and almost perfected doing stuff on a soundstage
Right.
with that new like
That
hyperbaric
giant,
time chamber or whatever.
yeah, the giant
The
TV that's
screen.
around them.
Yeah. So I think the technology. Can you imagine if the prequels had been shot like the Mandalorian instead of instead of just green screen?
Oh, so
That
much
would have been
better.
insane. That would have been insane, man. But I do love that. I mean, George Lucas is not limited by the technology that he has, and sometimes it doesn't look the best, or sometimes it maybe doesn't age because it doesn't age well because it's the first time where you're using that technology. But he just makes technology, like right.
He just makes it do what he needs it to do.
Yeah. So,
What about now we got another Jedi,
a
Kumail.
Safety brother. Oh well. Oh yeah.
I love Kumail being the fake Jedi. I dig that he's an Eternal in the Marvel universe, and now he's playing a fake Jedi in this group. That kind of pulls me back into that group that I want to see, like their further adventures and how they get more rebels to join.
I mean, it's like, oh, what is her fucking name? Boba's assistant.
Fennec Shan.
Fennec, yeah.
Fennec, yeah, but but also being an agent of the Shield, and then also being,
Oh yeah, Ming-Na Wen has been in every
Disney princess.
Yeah, and it's like she's hit every branch of the company now except the Muppets.
She's been in 2 Mulan movies. I'm sure she's been on Sesame Street. So really, really cool. Let's see. Things were too convenient for Reba, and it came of his force. I mean, I think maybe they felt convenient because we don't know. Like, she's been plotting out this stuff for a long time, right? Like, it was probably about time a lot of these things fell into place. And even then, things did not go according to plan, as we saw when she finally had Vader. He knew all along that. So I would say maybe we were tricked into thinking that things were too convenient because that was Vader's plan to let her, like, what is it? Give her enough rope to hang herself, right? Like, just yeah, like Vader knew everything that was happening. So maybe that's why, kind of like, I get how goofy it is that Obi-Wan snuck out Leia in the coat, but that was the plan. That was what Reva was she was letting them escape. So she could bug them. I think it was the same thing. I think sometimes whatever you might have perceived as feeling too easy for Reva or too convenient was because Vader was letting her do that stuff too. So I think that's an interesting parallel.
Yeah, but there is that one point where Leia's escaping through the tunnels and Reva is able to
teleport. Yeah,
go to the other end of the tunnel and meet her there. That doesn't make any sense.
Yeah, that was interesting because the timing was difficult it's difficult to perceive time, right? Obviously, Leia's a young child navigating these tunnels, and we as an audience maybe figure out that it's just a straight shot, and maybe it was, but maybe it wasn't. So
yeah,
but yeah,
we don't know.
Yeah, you're right. But I like the Inquisitors. I wish they had gotten a little bit more to do, like overall.
Yeah,
I would like to understand that better without having to watch the cartoon
or read the comics at least. There's a
lot
of
to find out if all the Inquisitors were younglings. I mean, you almost kind of got that. But you brought up the thing on your podcast with Mark, the fact that like one of them was wearing that like youngling helmet, so he might have been Reva was a youngling, and so it just makes you wonder if like maybe all the Inquisitors might have been younglings, or at least have come from that area.
Yeah, in the comics, they definitely explain that these are all force sensitive. Like, all force sensitive kids. Like they kind of do the same thing. They just they kidnap them or whatever, brainwash them, and force them into that. Let's see. Thoughts on the expansion of force powers, the ability to heal or stop ships from taking off. Well, that's
they've played that. They may not have been in the original movies, but that's something they've played within all other media, like comics and stuff like that.
The comics, Vader takes down AT-ATs like with his hands.
Luke did it in Dark Empire too.
Yeah, that's right. And I think this was definitely the most powerful Vader display of pulling down the ship.
Yeah.
Which is so cool. Such a cool sequence. Let's see. We have some more comments here. The Inquisitors use their lightsabers in more creative ways than
Yeah.
just looking like helicopter. I do,
Yeah.
I do love them doing the helicopter thing in Rebels, uh, because it looks goofy animated. I think it would have looked even goofier in live action, but yeah, you're right. I think the Inquisitors definitely needed to maybe be expanded upon a little bit. Uh, Little helicopter sounds. Uh, but going back to the Force expansion, like I guess it makes sense that we don't fully understand what the Force can do in just like this very small look at the. At, we're only following one family, right, throughout all these 9
Yeah.
movies and most of these series for now. But Rebels has this really cool thing where I forget what the Kanan meets a being that is connected to the Force, kind of like in the middle, and they really explain like how much more the Force is than just helping you do all the stuff and moving stuff around. Like there's so much more to the Force that the Jedi and the Sith don't even understand because they are kind of stuck in their own views of how to use it.
Yeah,
So
because doesn't in Grand Admiral Thrawn have like an animal that deflects the Force in those series?
Yeah, he has like some
Uh,
kind of assistant kind of creature that, like, I don't know if he deflects the force, but he's got he's definitely a fighting ability. He's able to take on like.
Yeah, because I remember that both the Sith and the Jedi don't understand that animal at all, and how it's able to deflect the Force,
yeah,
no matter who it's
yeah,
coming from.
I think creatures. I do like that part of the lore how they've expanded it in the animated series. And yeah, the living force is an interesting concept, and I agree. I think all the creatures like the wolves, I forget what they're called, but they're just wolves, and in Rebels as well. Like they communicate with the force, and all that stuff is really cool. How the force is used by other creatures that are maybe not. I don't want to say non-sentient because they are sentient, but like they're not humanoid or whatever, right? Like they're not Jedi or they're not Sith or
Sith.
whatever. So
I'm
uh,
very curious the line between healing and because the main reason Anakin joins the Sith is to survive death.
mhm.
But we see Grogu, who is able to heal. Like, at what point does he have to go dark to heal? Like, I'm
Yeah.
very curious about the line between those two,
Yeah,
because
yeah,
Grogu does it with basically no training.
right. They're called
I
love wolves. Yeah, thank you.
I figured that's. I'm gonna go with it. Just guess that's probably something to do more with like Yoda's species.
Yeah, that's what I think. Like, I think different species can probably focus on different aspects of the forest, more naturally.
Yeah. I know
Yeah.
there's one theory out there. Who was the guy's name that basically was in charge of getting the rebels out?
O'Shea Jackson,
Yeah,
his
Ocean Jackson.
character.
There's rumors of like, could he have been the one who got Grogu out of the temple?
Oh,
Oh yeah, we
wow.
still don't know. Hopefully they'll answer that in later Mandalorian seasons. But I mean, that would make sense. Uh, or maybe a Jedi left Grogu with him to take
Yeah.
him along the path and stuff.
But I love the speech that Obi-Wan gave O'Shea. I forget his character's name, but just that he has the potential to be a leader and lead these people beyond. And that moment made me go, okay, let's see this. I want to see him take these people and show what it's like to lead a rebellion that's so small
Yeah.
to the point it can take down the Empire eventually.
His name is Roken.
Roken. Okay.
Roken, yeah.
Who was the female that was with him? The female leader? I can't remember her name either, because I know she's an actress in a bunch of stuff that I don't know.
Oh, you're asking too many questions, Clay.
I'll say this: I do like it was episode 5 when they're on that one planet and they're in the middle of the ocean, and Obi-Wan. This is like the point where Obi-Wan's really figuring out how to like get his Jedi powers back. So he's like, he's taking out the stormtroopers. He's holding back all the ocean so they can get through the tube, and then out of all the places, out of all the ships, 2 fucking speedsters from like what they used on Hoth come in and start blasting the hangar on on the Imperial base. I thought that was kind of cool.
Yeah. Yeah, that was. I mean, and then like at this point, these guys they don't know what it's like to be in the war. That was like their first like casualty almost. I don't like at least from a battle like that, right? So it's really interesting. This isn't really the rebellion that we know from
No.
A New Hope. This is just people trying to escape
And this is still 5 years before Rebel starts. So officially the rebellion as far as we know, hasn't even really started yet.
Technically started, yeah. I do want to say one of my criticisms would be that we didn't give Sung Kang enough to do.
No shit. Where's my boy Han at? He got all dressed up for this.
Justice for Han continues in here.
Yes.
The fifth brother is such a badass in Rebels and in the comics. And Sung Kang did not get enough to do. I do like that all the Inquisitors, like their main goal is to become the Grand Inquisitor, but I feel like they don't know why they want to be the Grand Inquisitor.
Yeah.
Like it's just like their greed or their power, their search for more power that they're like, that's what it is. And maybe their end goal is to replace Vader. And eventually I think that's all anyone that uses the dark side of the Force, like their main goal is to be at the apex, right?
Yeah.
But yeah, Justice for Han continues. Maybe hopefully in the like I said, in the comics, he's really cool.
Yeah, I just want more of that dude because I love the actor, but I don't know much about the character. He just kind of came in and did a few things and was gone. But that's a lot of makeup for a few scenes.
He didn't even snack on anything.
Exactly. He needed some chips.
Let's see. I think this was the best role for him in order to have him get out of the Fast and Furious typecasting. Maybe this will do it. I mean, and he's done other stuff, just not maybe in America, but he's been doing a lot of other stuff. So I do want to
still be into cars in Star Wars. Don't limit him. He might have an awesome.
He's got a collection of the mopeds from Boba Fett.
Yeah. He's got a speeder collection.
So, but yeah, it was really cool to have him there. Just definitely wanted a little bit more. But yeah, here's a few of the actors.
I gotta say, best scene for me: Hayden Christensen, half mask, half voice. Getting to actually act with the mask on, but you could see part of his face. You could hear his voice take over at times.
Yeah.
Very fucking cool.
Yeah.
Redeeming moment for him because, man, I felt like he was really wasted in the prequels.
And the composition of that shot, right? Because we begin with the lighting of Obi-Wan saber. So everything is in blue when he's talking as Christian Haydenson. And his light starts to fade, and then the red takes over. There's a very similar scene with Vader and Ahsoka in Rebels. If you haven't seen Rebels, you really should.
You're missing out.
I will. That first season's rough.
It is actually my recommendation, and this is what I did. I watched a recap of the first season, and then I just jumped into season 2 because, like you, Clay, I remember watching it week to week on, I don't know, Disney Channel or whatever it came out on. And I was like, oh, I'm not the target demo for this. So I'm not going to watch it. But then, so I started watching around maybe episode 6 or 7. And then first season went by. They released the promo for season 2. I was like, oh, this looks really cool. I want to check it out. And yeah, I just rewatched the recap and then boom on season 2, and it's been great since then. So yeah, but yeah, Vader. I mean, Hayden Christensen. First of all, him coming back to really embrace all this stuff, like all the love from the fans. Like I don't know, I think more people like the prequels than we actually think. They're just not the majority, right? Yeah. I love seeing all the love from the fans at Star Wars Celebration for everyone, really. Like all the people that were coming back, really good to see that. Really cool to see Hayden Christensen meet Ashley. What's the voice of Ahsoka? I forget her name. Ashley. She was the most popular thing at Fan Expo for sure. Her line never stopped being full. People love that character. We have a question here from Terry. Best and worst aspect of the series, things you like the best, biggest disappointment. I think the thing I liked the best was definitely how Ashley Eckstein, thank you. I think the thing I liked the most was definitely the relationship between, or seeing the relationship between Ian McGregor or Obi-Wan and Darth Vader kind of continue, right? Because we know how they left things, and we don't know from there time jump to when we see him in A New Hope. There was no chance for any of them to kind of get closure, But I feel like now there's closure, right? Especially
Right.
after Anakin tells him, or Darth Vader tells him, like, you didn't kill Anakin, I killed Anakin.
Yeah.
Which fucking wrecked me when I heard that.
Yeah, that was so good.
Such a good scene. That's probably the best scene in the series. That whole conversation. Obi-Wan lifting rocks. I like that Darth Vader just throws him in the pit. That's it. Like, I'm just gonna drop you in the pit, and that's it. I'm done with you.
And then Obi-Wan realizes his power, and he erupts. He blows everything up so he can get out of the pit. It's just like
I thought that's where he might hear Qui-Gon.
Yeah, that was a good moment.
But I like that his motivation was the connection he had with the kids instead.
Mm-hmm.
So that's really cool. Obi-Wan would have been a great stepdad.
Yeah, my best aspect of the show is just Hayden and Ewan McGregor together. Like, their scenes together are so great, and it gave Hayden a chance to redeem himself.
Mm-hmm.
And this was just so much better. Like, I feel like those two, the cinematography, the casting is probably the best aspects of the show.
Yeah.
The worst,
even that flashback where the CGI was not as good to like DH Hayden Christensen.
Yeah.
I still liked it. I didn't care. It's like I do let, like, whatever. I'll play into the fantasy of, like, yeah, sure, this is a 40-year-old man. I don't care that he's playing a teenager, right? Because it's he's not even a Jedi yet. He's still a Padawan in that flashback. As far as my big complaint, I would say more Inquisitor stuff. I just would love to.
Yeah, that's what I was going to go into.
Especially, like I said, I think there was the other Inquisitor that I don't think she even said a line.
Yeah, she just there.
She had a couple lines in episode 5.
It was very brief.
Okay.
I do want to explore more that tomb of fucking Jedi.
Yeah.
Well, I was gonna say, like, just them bringing back the Grand Inquisitor. The fact, like, maybe show a little more of the actual cloning stuff aspect of, if you lose an Inquisitor, you bring them back.
I was disappointed, and it was probably a rights issue. I would have loved to have heard Duel of the Fates play again when they started battling.
Yeah.
I mean, that's a piece of music that is just probably the best thing in all of the prequels, and they could have pulled that into the show.
Yeah. Let's see. I think I've seen some of other. So the comment. Hayden Christensen is a good actor.
Shattered Glass. There's
Life as a House with Kevin Kline.
Kevin Kline, that's so good.
I think if you watch some stuff, I think that what didn't help Hayden was the dialogue. That's probably the aspect that makes the prequels a little bit like clunky is the dialogue, right? Yeah. But if you watch some of the other stuff that he's been on, like other movies and stuff, like as I said, Life as a House is a fucking really fantastic movie. So yeah, I think he's a good actor. It's just there's you can only do so much with like some of the dialogue. But
I recommend Shattered Glass though above that, because he's playing like a journalist and more of an adult, and the one you're talking about with Kevin Kline, it's really a father-son relationship.
Right.
It's very broken, and those two trying to heal. It's very emotional and very heavy
and
shit.
I know Josh would recommend Jumper.
He does love Jumper.
Don't watch Jumper. Jumper is a bad movie. And listen, I have a very, very, like, my bar is very low for bad movies, but Jumper's not a good one. Even with Sam Jackson and Hayden Christensen reuniting, it is not a good movie.
It's not.
I'm
just trying to think of anything else bad. I mean, really, I just felt like
I wish we had seen a little bit more of the Joel Edgerton too. I think he's really, like, the fact that he, I'm not saying he was a throwaway role in the prequels, but I don't think he would have thought that he would have come back to do the same character, 20 years later or whatever.
Yeah.
But yeah, Joel Edgerton, seeing him, like, is really cool. Like, very cool that he came back for this, because he's doing his own stuff. He's produced movies and stuff. Like, he's a really big actor.
Yeah.
So the fact
this was one of his early roles.
Yeah, it really was. It's so crazy that both him and Bonnie Pease, I think, is the on Peru. Really cool to see him back. I'm trying to think. Rupert Friend as the Inquisitor, I think he was good. I know it's a little weird to. I'm glad they did practical effects as opposed to doing digital characters.
Yeah.
But even if like I said, practical is always going to have this look that if you don't like how it looks, it's gonna mess up your experience. But if you don't I don't know, people have different aesthetic preferences, right? Especially because if you see the
animated
comics,
style was like a
it's
very
very long, yeah.
long head.
And his species of alien, like if you see him, I think we see a few of them in the prequels, in I think Revenge of the Sith. I think we see another one, and his head is longer. So they definitely. We've also seen him in what's the game with Cal, uh,
Oh,
Jedi Lost Jedi or something like that.
yeah, shit, I can't think of it because I didn't.
Yeah, there's one of them in there. I think so. They're all over the place, and they all kind of look very different. So I would say that I can definitely, whenever somebody criticizes what the actual look of it, I don't argue with them because like you have an aesthetic preference, so I get that. Uh, so let's see what else do we need to say? What else do we need to say about this? Uh, I would also love a season 2.
Yeah.
I want to see more. The comics definitely have these one shots of like the journals of Ben Kenobi where it's just different stories of either him doing stuff on Tatooine or little missions or stuff like that. And then like Kyle mentioned earlier, like I want to see him training with Qui-Gon, like as a like we know eventually he reaches that status.
Well, and we've seen Obi-Wan work with Leia now. Like, why don't we see a little bit of Luke? I mean, we saw Luke running for his life at the last episode, but you don't really know much about that. We saw a big fucking character growth for Leia in the 6 episodes, and which is supposed to be like maybe over a 2 or 3 day period.
Yeah.
So I'd like to see maybe a little bit of growth for Luke.
Yeah, although I guess that would have to be without Obi-Wan because I don't think they much met.
We don't know. We don't know that because even though they met at the very end. Luke does talk to Ben, like he goes, Ben, like they've met a couple of times. It sounds like over in A New Hope.
Yeah, maybe a few times.
So and what's nice is the comic is fairly close to what they've been doing on the show. Like if you bought that last, who was the Wookiee?
Crescentian.
Yeah, there was a collection of his. Yeah. There's a collection of 4 stories with just him in it, and it has Obi-Wan meeting Luke, and it's very close to the show. And I'd almost like to see an adaptation of some of the Darth Vader stories into maybe a series. Now that Jason Aaron's stories have been adapted into Thor: Love and Thunder, maybe Jason Aaron's Darth Vader could be a season. Or which one do you like, Karen Gillan's or Jason Aaron?
I like Karen Gillan's because that would mean that we would get Dr. Aphra in live action, and Dr. Aphra is probably my favorite comic book character. Vader Down, dude. Vader Down is such a dope story. If you haven't read Vader Down, do yourself a favor, go get that trade. Karen Gillan does an amazing job with that. I forgot we haven't really talked much about young Leia portrayed by Vivian Lyra Blair, who was also in Bird Box.
She was one of the kids.
She was a little girl in Bird Box.
I thought she did great, but she annoyed the fuck out of me the first couple episodes. Like especially the one where she's on the probably would have been episode 2 where she's on the planet and Obi-Wan finds her and she starts running from him. It's like, look, you little, he's here to save your ass.
Those are, I mean, kids are gonna do kid things, right? Like
at least, I know.
Kids are gonna kid.
Kids are gonna kid.
I know, but it's just like, oh god.
Yeah, I think it took that moment of Obi-Wan finally using the Force for her to start maybe thinking a little more serious, like, oh wait, this dude's for real, right? Because I mean, I think she's just kind of weird, like she's just been kidnapped, so she's wary of everyone at that point. But I think she did great. I can see like how that little girl would grow up to be the badass princess that we know from the other movies, right? So I like.
It's very interesting how the Organas have Leia, and they know they need to protect her, but are unable, and how the Uncle Owen and Aunt Beru protect Luke. Like their violence. I mean, it seems like the government would have better control to protect Leia than just these couple of farmers who are living out on dirt and Tatooine. But they're the more prepared, aren't they?
Yeah. Comment here in the chat. I'm not a fan of child actors. I completely get that, but they embrace the stereotypes and made her really enjoy the casting. Yeah, I think they leaned into it, and definitely by the end of the series, you're like, yeah, that's probably what it really would have. It makes you feel more natural, I think, other than, oh, look at this perfectly behaved child that kind of knows everything.
Yeah.
But also, it was really cool to see Alderaan, because we only saw
don't-
Alderaan
Yeah.
for a few seconds
From
and
a
then it blew
distance.
up. Yeah, and then it blew up. So we haven't really been in there. Maybe in the comics we have. I'm trying to think, but maybe not, because it would be. Yeah, no, I don't think so. Also, Jimmy Smith's. I mean, really cool to see him back.
Have we returned to the cantina since we've been on Tatooine so fucking much?
Only let's see, maybe Boba Fett, maybe. No, not that cantina, because they're in Mos
Eisley.
Mos
Or
Eisley.
no. They're not in Mos Eisley. They're in Mos Espa.
Mos Espa, yeah. Yeah, I don't think so. I think
I would kind of love to see an anthology story that just took place in the cantina. I know they've done
cantina.
they've done books, Tales from Mos Eisley, that is just that kind of stories. I would love to just mingle with the crowd that's there. That's always been one of my favorite scenes in Star Wars. I would love to see just more alien shit.
You just want to hear the song.
Yeah.
Yeah, man,
maybe just follow Cy Snoodles on the road as she tours the galaxy. In the Max Rebo band.
Yeah.
Behind the music, Max Rebo band.
Oh, like a VH1 style. Yeah.
Yes.
I like that. I actually like that a lot. Let's see. Is there anything else you guys want us to talk about, or you guys have anything more from Obi-Wan? I think overall, my big message is I want to see more of it. Yeah, we have a really cool comment from Terry. Mos Eisley's cheers. Yeah,
Instead of Norm, Hammerhead.
Yeah, I want a sitcom in the Star Wars world. I think that would play really fun.
Yeah, I mean, Star Trek has it. Star Trek is doing their own humor, so you have to kind of know that world to get it. So Star Wars, let's get on it. I want to see Patton Oswalt write it.
Yeah, that'd be cool. I think he'd be great, since he's got the Mandalorian down already. So
yeah.
But yeah, I think my main takeaway from this is I want to see more. I did see online floating around, somebody already edited the 6 episodes into like a 2.5 hour movie, which is crazy. So it's really, really funny. Let's see. Waste of a Liam cameo? No, I think it was perfect. I think it made perfect sense at the end for me why he wasn't able to commune with Qui-Gon, but it almost
he was a broken man. Like that performance of how broken he is in the early episodes is really good.
Yeah, I don't think we highlighted how good of a performance Ewan McGregor does to portray that disconnect, like just being disconnected from the Force.
Or even when the other Jedi finds him and says, "You got to help me," it's like saying, "We're done. We're like, get rid of your lightsaber and just run from your life at the part of our life sober."
And I also love that when Qui-Gon shows up, it's like, I've been here the whole time, dude. I don't know what you just couldn't see me. I've been here the whole time. It almost reminds me of that.
Like he's created his own barriers.
Yeah, it reminds me of that poster with the footprints in the sand at the beach or whatever. Like
it was Qui-Gon all along.
It was Qui-Gon all along. He's with Obi-Wan on his back, like a Dagobah. So yeah, I love that Liam Neeson in the interviews. He's like, "Oh, I'll never do TV stuff for Star Wars. I'll only be in a movie." And maybe they
motherfucker did Ice Road Trucker movie.
Yeah,
Taken 3.
I'm glad to see him because Qui-Gon was he was my favorite character from the prequels. Probably.
Oh no, he was the best Jedi, but from the original trilogy, it's always been Ewan McGregor as Obi-Wan.
Yeah, he's really good. I really like him. I like. He could continue playing Obi-Wan until he gets to be Alex Guinness's age, and I'll be okay with it. Yeah.
And I mean, technically, Liam Neeson was in the only good movie of the original trilogy.
In the good part?
Well, no, he was. I think Phantom Menace is the best of the original trilogy.
Well, I think that's incorrect. I think it's
No.
Revenge of the Sith, but
No, it's Phantom Menace.
he's in the
Revenge of
coolest
Sith.
part.
Phantom Menace is really just a long. It's the slowest of the three.
I think
I-
as long as we all agree that Attack of the Clones is the worst one.
No,
Yeah.
I really feel Phantom Menace is pretty fucking bad.
Oh, I love Phantom Menace.
No,
My
wait,
favorite.
what? It's got pod racing. It's got gambling. It's
Hell
got
yeah.
Qui-Gon Jinn.
I mean,
We get introduced to the midichlorians, Clay. I don't know. What
I
you're
love the fact it's not a dark,
talking-
depressing film. It's a
Yeah.
fucking like lighthearted thing, and that's what I
Yeah.
was wanting.
It was also the first one I saw in theaters.
Lighthearted, but it's the story about the Darth Vader growing up. It's the story of evil at its inception.
It's
Hey.
him before he realizes what evil really is. It's a young kid who's just, hey, I've got a future ahead of me, and again, pod racing. He takes out the fucking Federation. The thing. It's and the fight, and the lightsaber fight with Darth Maul.
I do love the pod racing like that. The pod racing is so much fun. In fact, that's where they should send Sang Kung into the pod racing and have him hang out and have a Fast and Furious Star Wars.
Yeah, get Justin Lin to direct that. That way he can do both.
Yes,
He could do both Star Trek and Star Wars.
I would watch it. I totally would. I watched that fucking Star Trek third movie and it had no cars in it.
Well, I think that's gonna do it for our Obi-Wan talk. But yeah, if you have anything else, follow us on Twitter and all that. Let us know. Yeah, we'll always come back to Fast and Furious. In fact, I was
Yes.
going over some of our stuff. The Fast and Furious episode we did is the longest recording we have of anything in the podcast. If you guys remember that, we recorded that back at I think we were at the bar.
Yeah,
Where Kyle used to work, and we were just there for hours, like almost maybe
Yeah.
half a day. Kyle had to finally duck out because he had to go to work. Like he had to open the bar, and Clay and I kind of continued talking about recapping the full Fast and Furious franchise leading up to Hobbs and Shaw. That was crazy. I might put that up on the YouTube channel. Just re-release it.
oh, that was fun.
That was a good one. All right, but yeah, thanks for our audio listeners. Thank you for listening, and make sure to rate, subscribe, share the podcast for all that stuff. Make sure to follow us on Twitter at Next Issue Pod, all that good stuff. For everyone watching live, there is one more thing I want to talk about because I think you guys, I don't know, both of you guys will watch the Clerks 3 trailer.
Yes.
Okay, let's watch it real quick.
In fact,
And then-
Terry sent it to me. Terry, my
Oh,
buddy in
really?
chat. Yeah, and we saw Kevin Smith in Dallas and drove down and saw him in Houston. Like
Well done,
we're big
Terry.
Kevin Smith fans.
Yeah, me too. I've seen him once do the podcast with Jay.
Yeah, I was there at the Texas Theater. I did get to see They Get Old back in like 96.
Mine was
16.
I saw it at Fan Expo.
Oh, okay.
Not a Fan Expo thing, but
No.
yeah, I mean,
The one I want to see them do is Hollywood Babylon. That's my favorite with him and Ralph Garman.
Oh,
I
yeah.
want to see Fab and Beyond because I really like Mark Bernardin too. So hopefully they.
Oh
bring
yeah,
that
yeah, he's
sometime.
good.
But let's check out the trailer for Clerks 3, and I just want to. So yeah, it released, and we can talk about it a little bit afterwards because I'm very excited for this movie. So
I mean, Clerks is the voice of my generation.
THC, I love that.
Somebody get over it. That's how we did it in the 90s, son.
Can't catch my breath, man.
Really? Should I try mouth stuff?
What is this, a Tinder date? Get off of me. Shit.
Mr. Dante!
I need an ambulance at the quick stop.
Saved my life, man. Wish I had a life worth saving.
What are you talking about?
Sit around and watch the same movies over and over.
I always thought you could have made a cool movie.
You're right. I'm living on borrowed time. No more watching movies.
I'm gonna make a movie!
What's the movie going to be about? It's about him working here. Meta.
Everything in the script is something either me or someone I know said.
I'm not even supposed to be here today. Maybe Jay and Silent Bob could be characters.
Jay and Silent Bob are like C-3PO and R2-D2. They've been here since the first movie, which was the last time they were cool. But they've been with the franchise so long, they still give them cameos and put them on the lunchbox.
Yeah.
Snifty Booches! Please tell me why.
I believe in you.
Jonathan!
put in that stuff you used to say about the Death Star contractors.
Get sued by Disney? No way.
Now that's what I call acting!
Take off your pants.
What the hell is this?
I added a scene where you get shot.
I'm not letting you kill me off in the third act. What if there's a sequel?
A sequel? What am I, a hack?
I think it needs more weed.
Yes, Jay is right.
So good. I really loved it. We had a question in the chat. Over under how many scenes Rosario will be in. I think she's gonna be in like one.
Yeah. Oh no, I think she's gonna be in it. I think she'll be a lot in the movie.
I'm gonna
knows
go.
Smith.
I'm gonna go with more. Yeah.
She's a friend with Smith, so that's why I think she'll probably be a lot in the film.
That's why I think he was able to get her for one day to get her get away from Ahsoka.
Will they make a Star Wars reference?
Oh, I'm sure.
How do you feel about it only being in theaters for 2 days? I saw that it's doing Fathom events.
Yeah, and I'm not a fan of that.
Yeah, me neither. I hope it gets a wider release, maybe after that.
Did y'all see what happened at the last Fathom events with John Carpenter's film?
No.
They were re-releasing The Thing in theaters through a Fathom events, and apparently the quality of the film and the ratio was off, and so it was just a bad scene for everyone who went to go see it, and they were really pissed off. And when you sign up for Fathom events like the theater, they have to commit to other shit too. So just to carry that bad version of The Thing, they have to carry other Fathom events, and it kind of bums me out that they're doing it. Also, isn't Kevin Smith dabbling in NFTs?
I think he was doing some stuff for a while. I haven't heard him promoted in a while, so maybe not.
NFTs are kind of going through a weird, like kind of a weird thing right now. Like I think, like even crypto is kind of going through where it's
Crashing.
Like, yeah.
And so I know he had talked about that being a part of the movie, and I was like, why would you do that? Like, you have a fan base, you're giving us fan service, don't give a shit.
You
like
have
NFTs.
a fan base that doesn't fully know what NFTs are.
Yeah. We're
No one
old
fully knows what
motherfuckers
they are.
now.
Yeah.
We grew up in the 90s too.
Let's get in. I mean, let's talk about that because I think that's my favorite thing. Obviously, I think we all know that a few years ago, Kevin Smith had a heart attack, and this is all. It almost feel like it's come. His movies have always been pretty meta, but now it's so meta that it's kind of come back around full circle to like, is this just kind of imitating his real life, and then going back into the movies?
He has to tell the story because he's gotten to the point where he doesn't live that convenience store life. He can't tell that story from that perspective.
Yeah.
He has to tell the story. He has to tell that story because that's what he remembers. But now he's a guy who is known for a spokesperson for our generation. He's always a pop culture advocate, or not advocate. He's a pop culture knowledgeable person on a lot of shows.
Yeah.
He's kind of the white Gen X model, I feel like. Him telling any other story would have to be about him being famous, making money, and doing that. And that's not who can relate to that Kevin Smith. Nobody.
Right.
They can relate to the guy who wants to work with his buddy, has had a dented job, has gone through all this shit, and has just trying to figure out his life. Like Dante's, I relate to Dante more than anything.
Oh yeah,
and I love to see his journey.
Yeah, but I think in this version of the movie, I think Kevin Smith was always the Dante character, except for this one.
Yeah,
this one.
Yeah,
this is about Randall.
Yeah. Also, I mean, come on, bring on the
Batfleck.
cameos. How does he know? I think I'm.
He
really
was the
glad.
bomb in Phantom, Joe.
Yeah, I'm really glad that Ben Affleck still works with Kevin Smith.
Well, it's because they made up before he did Reboot. He came back with. I love the fact because they came back and he talks about having a kid with Joey Laudermiller's character, and it's Jay's daughter that's playing the baby.
Yeah, and then also Fred Armisen cameo.
Fred
Sarah
Armisten's
Michelle
in
Gellar.
everything.
Who's the chick?
Sarah Michelle Gellar.
Oh, is that? Oh, wow. Okay.
Yeah, so I'm excited to see who else is going to cameo.
Tila.
I think
Okay.
the witch is Amy Sedaris.
Oh, really?
The witch at the hospital. Yeah. He put
the
up a
doctor,
picture.
the doctor who treats.
Justin
Randall.
Long too.
Justin Long, yeah. And Is he playing the same character?
This is Amy Sedaris.
Oh, she is the best.
So really, really cool.
Look at that nurse looking at Randall.
Yeah, that's good. That's just, I bet that's not even acting. That's just reacting to the actual situation. So I'm very excited for this movie. I'm hit or miss on the Kevin Smith movies. I don't like all of them. But I do like the Clerks one. Although somebody
I
told
like
me that
all of them. I have not seen Tusk.
Oh, you're missing out. Of you all people, the shit you watch.
I know.
For real,
But
that
I do
sounds
love
like
Yoga Hosers. Yoga Hosers is a fun, weird fucking movie that you just get really high and watch.
if Kyle comes back with a Bratzi,
Oh boy, if he has a Bratzi action figure, I would love to see it. Come on, Kyle. What do
Kyle,
you
are
bring
you gonna
us?
show us your Bratzi?
Oh shit, he's got the fucking movie. I
Yeah,
don't
he
know,
does.
man. It just seems too weird. Like the
I'm
Nazi
sorry.
bratwurst.
After half the shit I had, I'm sorry. After half the shit I've been listening to you talk about on this fucking podcast and then
Yeah,
listening to you on
yeah.
Mark's podcast, you don't get to say, "Oh, this may not be good." I'm sorry. Joe Bob Briggs bullshit and everything else you watch.
Oh, those are fucking good.
Oh, watch this.
Clay, you're the one who brought up Slacks into this conversation. The
Oh,
movie about killer genes.
that's
I'm
'cause
sorry.
it's
Let's
hilarious.
make
It is the
fucking
funniest
Justin
thing
Long
to
into a
watch.
fucking human walrus. It's kind of you'd probably
You know,
get a kick out of this one.
I think you should do a double feature of Tusk and Crimes of the Future, the Cronenberg movie when it comes out in
Oh
digital.
man,
I think that'll really fuck you
too
up.
much
Have
body
you-
horror.
Have you seen Yoga Hosers?
Oh yeah, I love
Oh,
Yoga
okay,
Hosers
okay.
because it's a silly, weird, fun movie of just
I'm
these two
still
girls
pissed off
having an
we haven't-
adventure.
I'm still pissed off we haven't gotten Moose Jaws.
Oh yeah.
Oh yeah, yeah, Moose Jaws. But
Maybe this will push it over and give him the money to do the
Maybe.
yeah, that's why.
I'd rather them finish off Mallrats 2.
I know, and I know that
That
there was a
brings back
movie
Jason Lee.
treatment and then a TV.
I think it's gonna
series
be a TV
treatment.
series now. I think that's confirmed.
Yeah, but I'd rather see them start working on that because I want to see Jason Lee back as Brody.
That'd be cool.
Yeah, that would be cool.
But I do like that Kevin Smith just gets to do. At this point, he just makes whatever he wants to do with his friends, which I think
And that's awesome.
That's the dream, right? I think that's what we do this podcast.
Yeah, that's
It's
exactly
what
what
every
we
other
do.
it's what every other director does basically. I mean, come
Yeah.
on, Wes Anderson, fucking Judd Apatow,
Christopher
Tarantino. Nolan, Tarantino.
They just
You-
directors
you've-
are just people that they want to make movies with their friends, and
I know. I see people shit on Kevin Smith and they're like, he just does the same movies with his friends, and it's like, if you got paid to do that, wouldn't you? I mean,
right.
Make
Yeah,
movies
I
you
think
wanna
I
see,
think it
not-
was because it was one of the video reviewers that I really like, and I watched him revisit. I think it's a Patrick H. Williams video where he revisits Kevin Smith, and he's kind of down on him, and I'm like, why? Because he's having fun, like he's
Yeah.
doing what he wants to do.
Now I did hear some. We were having this conversation not with some other people, and they mentioned that Clerks 2 hasn't aged very well as far as the humor, which I can
Oh.
definitely get that because it's a movie from the early 2000s.
Yeah,
Yeah,
so-
but the story hits. I know for a lot of
Yeah.
friends it hits at twice because of them being and having dealt with friendship issues. It hits a lot of marks for them.
So I think I'll rewatch the movies, and I'm sure we'll do at some point. We'll talk about Clerks and just revisit all that.
we just need to have a Kevin Smith episode and go through all his movies because I'd really like to talk about Dogma too.
You want to talk about Jersey Girl, don't you?
That
You know,
movie
they
was
do-
not that
George
bad.
Carlin. I talk about George Carlin, but
You know, they in high school, I was part of the robotics club, and we had a field trip. Yeah, and we had a field trip to the movies. Like we had a movie outing, and the only two movies playing, I think it was like The Ring or Jersey Girl, and the teacher would not let us. We all wanted to watch The Ring, but the teacher would not let us because it was rated
So she
R.
takes you to the Jersey Girl?
So we all went to see Jersey Girl as a group. That's the only
Oh my
reason I've
God.
seen Jersey Girl.
that's the only reason. That's
because they
oh.
made me watch Jersey Girl.
The only good part of Jersey Girl is J-Lo dies.
No, I think there's Jilly in it.
Oh no, it's not J-Lo. It's
It's Jayla.
it is J-Lo that
Yeah.
she's
the
one
mother
that-
of the kid, and she dies of
she
birth.
dies. Yeah, that's
Oh,
right.
yeah,
Okay,
yeah.
yeah. And I was like, oh, okay.
And it's
Yeah,
been a
some
while.
Kevin Smith fans you are.
Yeah. Don't.
Hey man,
Martin.
I remember seeing Clerks in the Inwood Theater in the upper balcony theater by myself because that was the only place that was showing it, and
Wait,
it was the
were
only,
you on the
we didn't even
balcony?
have the Angelica here in Dallas at the time, and
The
I
Inwood
saw
used to. Doesn't the Inwood still have balcony theaters, or is it no longer? They no longer have them.
I don't know because I've only been in the big theaters. Since
Wait, were you
Okay.
the only one in there?
Yeah, I watched it. It's like it holds maybe 25 people, and I was
And you
like the
didn't.
only person in there.
I
And I
remember-
remember seeing it being blown away, and I was just like, I fucking love this movie.
Wait,
I-
did you move down, or were those the good seats?
I was the only one in the theater.
Right, but that's what I'm saying. Why did you watch it from the balcony if you could?
I got one.
Down?
I got you beat.
No, the theater is upstairs, not the.
Oh,
balcony
okay,
seats.
got
Yeah.
it.
Seen chasing Amy in the theater 6 times.
Wow.
Damn.
Yeah, that is pretty good commitment. I think I
That's a
saw
lot.
Mallrats the most in the theater.
All right. Well, we'll definitely revisit. That might be a 2-part episode where we revisit all the Kevin Smith movies because it feels like too many.
Maybe we should just review the whole fandom of Kevin Smith.
Let me just tweet at Kevin.
Yeah,
Smith.
that would
Hey,
be
come
interesting.
come be in our podcast. We're gonna talk about you.
Yeah.
I got one thing I want to throw up just because it ended this week, and I should have brought it up during our what we watched.
Sure.
Clay, did you watch the season finale of Strange New Worlds?
No, not yet. It is on deck.
Oh.
I know. I just caught up and I saw.
They go back and tie it into Balance of Power, which was a season 1 episode, which was the first appearance of the Romulans.
Shit.
It's basically a what if. The basically is, Pike ends up meeting one of the kids he's supposed to save 7 years or 10 years in the future, and decides to write a letter to stop him from ever going there. And then he gets an appearance from him in the future in one of the red outfits from the Wrath of Khan movie.
Oh shit.
And so it's basically, I want to show you what happens if you don't go through that whole situation. So it's a what if kind of vision, and it's based on the Balance of Power episode from season 1 of the original Star Trek TV series.
Oh shit. Okay, good. Yeah, it's going to be on deck today. I've got my Paramount shows lined up.
Yeah, it's oh my god. And
Speaking of that,
and then the
all right.
cliffhanger they do for this, if it's the last episode of the season 10, it's just like, oh my god.
Yeah.
I will tell you that a Star Trek episode was one of our most watched, very quickly.
Oh really?
So, yeah, a lot of Trekkies. Maybe we need to revisit Star Trek in the future.
We need to have an Orville episode because when we get into recommendations, that's where I'm going.
Maybe when the season's done. Is the season done?
No, because
No.
Okay.
they just are on episode 6, but they've
Okay.
said every episode will make you think.
I want the last 2 episodes. The one with Boris's daughter.
Tales of Two Topas.
Oh my god. I never have I hated a character more at the moment than I did his. Oh my god. But then the next episode. Oh my god. I wanted to fucking strangle. It's just. Talk about like when they have to go back in time and they have to save. And it's just like, really, you want to talk about?
Tales of Two Topas. Do you want to get in recommendations so I can talk about it?
Yeah, let's get into. Oh, before we get into that, I do want to mention. We lost a few actors this week, as well.
Yeah.
But
James
but
Caan.
James Caan passed away. Also, what's his name
Which
from
is
The Sopranos?
Because I was rewatching episodes from season 2 of Hawaii Five-0, and I had just seen 2 days before the episode with James Caan, and so it's James Caan with his son there, and it's just like these two Junior and Senior playing together, and then that happens. I'm like, are you kidding me?
Yeah,
It was
but
weird.
Also, unfortunately, we lost the creator of Yu-Gi-Oh, Kazuki Takahashi.
That's
He
all right.
passed
Swimming
away.
accident?
He passed away at 60. So that's, Yu-Gi-Oh is very important anime to me. Very important manga. So, make sure to go check that out. I think it's really enjoyable. I know that 4Kids anime, they adapted it really weirdly, but the anime overall is really good. So, and the manga too, all of it. It's more than just the card game. The manga is more about other games and stuff. So really interesting stuff. So go check that out. But yeah, with this, we have Learner Kim in the chat. The Orville continues to be awesome. So Clay, tell us all about that.
The Tale of Two Topas is a great story that picks up from an earlier story in, I forget if it was season 1 or season 2. Do you know, Kyle?
I'm sorry, which one? Oh, that's technically, I want to say from season 1 and 2.
Yeah, Topa is the child of Bortus, one of the officers on the crew.
Oh yeah, he was pregnant in season 1, and he had to
Well, yeah, Boris. Yeah, so they lay an egg, and apparently their kids grow up quickly. But yeah, he laid the egg, and they're all a male predominant species.
Right, and the males have better life, have a better quality of life in their society, and so they had a child that was born with both sex organs, and they did a surgery to make their child male, and Topa is struggling being a male and being in a male's body, and the whole episode is about gender and how to deal with it in different societies and how different societies deal with it. And it's very touching, and it's incredible to see, because typically, they want to put the parents of being supportive. They have one supportive parent and one very angry parent. And to see that relationship blow up on screen was really amazing and good. And to see the story of Topa end in such a positive way was really well done. I mean, it was interesting because even the doctor who was going to perform the surgery, the Federation gets involved and says, if you do that, you're out. Like they don't even want to have her do the surgery to go from male back to female, where Topa even understands society will even look down upon her as a female as she changes gender. And it's really touching. And that's probably one of the best kid performances I've seen in a long time. Like we were talking about kid actors. This was incredible because they not only had to wear the makeup, but had to emote through that makeup. And you even see tears. Like it's just really good. That episode's probably one of the best episodes of television this year.
Cool. Yeah, I definitely got to catch up, and we definitely should do an Orville episode later on in the future. So, very interesting. All right, Kyle, what do you got?
I think I threw it in there. Oh, hold on, here we go. So they announced this week that one of my favorite animes is finally getting some release time on DVD. Macross. Macross is eventually what became Robotech over here, at least in the first part. And they announced that Macross Plus, Macross 2, Macross Frontier, and Macross Delta are going to be getting DVD and Blu-ray releases here in the States.
Oh, wow. Min-May.
Yep.
They have some of the best mechs. I love Macross mechs. I mean, they're just you've got what's the half breed between the two when it turns into a jet with legs?
Depends. So you have Gerwalk, which is the Japanese name for it, and you have the battle, and you have it's Battleoid. What is the metal? It's fighter jet, Battleoid, and like crap. I forget. I know it's called Gerwalk in the Japanese. I forget what the American one is.
Yeah, I can't remember, but man, I love them because even some of the toys would transform into all three different shapes. And I think I even still have some Macross models now that I'm getting some model paint. I may dust them off and knock them out.
Cool. Yeah, that looks cool. We got a lot of news out of Animex, but we didn't even go over any of that. But I was excited to hear some of that stuff. Like we got a Bleach trailer. Yes,
I know you're excited for that.
I love Bleach. I can't wait. The fall is going to be insane for anime. But yeah, okay. Well, I'm gonna recommend. Well, I guess before I go into my recommendation, I do want to give a big shout out to our Patreons, Sabrina, Mike, IRCB Podcast, and Final Neo. We appreciate you guys helping out with keep the show running, keep the lights on. I need the AC.
Keep the AC on is really
keep the AC on for sure. But my recommendation is gonna be Kung Fu Panda Dragon Knight that comes out this week on Netflix. This is a new animated series from Kung Fu Panda from DreamWorks. So I started listening to a podcast called Mortal Podcast, hosted by Ben Meckler. And I joined the Patreon and really cool community of people that just love Mortal Kombat. But I throughout that stuff, I've met Ben. Ben is actually a writer and producer and stuff for other stuff, but he's one of the writers on this show, and he's very excited. We're all very excited for him because he's a cool dude. But yeah, and I love Jack Black is coming back to voice Poe. So definitely recommend you check that out.
Ben Meckler, isn't he the guy who always puts out movie quotes and tweets?
Yes.
Okay, yeah, he is the funniest guy on Twitter.
Ben Meckler is a really, really funny dude. Yeah, follow him on Twitter. Really, I love those reviews because they sound like, oh yeah, this is where it's going, but then you're like, wait a minute, what?
Yeah, he writes a great intro into it, and then it's like people don't read the end of his review where it just gets batshit crazy, and then it gets picked up by like Variety and Deadline and all these other journalists about entertainment news and reviews of
movies. They
movies.
don't even read the full quote; they're just like letting him, whatever. So, very cool stuff. And then the last thing I'll recommend, because it's a good week. There's a new fan-made Dragon Ball thing that came out yesterday or this week. It's called A Dragon Ball Tale. It's a film you can watch on YouTube it's like 10 minutes long.
Oh.
The animation is super cool, and it's like not affiliated with anything. It's just people that love to do this stuff. It's by Studio Stray Dogs. I think they're out of Canada, but it's really cool. Like I said, it's just 10 minutes. So we'll tweet out the link because I think it's really fun. It's just called Legend A Dragon Ball Tale. And it's very, very fun. So, but yeah, a lot of cool stuff happening. So next week we'll be talking about our favorite year / maybe years in movies. We will try to have a special guest to cover, since Josh will also still not be around. I know he has to do well. The problem with Josh is that the Eagles fly wherever they want. So if they don't want to pick him up and bring him back, Josh is gonna have to find his way from Mordor on his own. So hopefully, hopefully Josh gets back to Dallas at some point. Although he escaped at the right time, because it's gonna be hotter than Mustafar here.
No shit.
For the next week. So send us cool vibes, everyone. All right. Do you guys have anything else before we get out of here?
I just want to say RIP to Joe Pera's show. Adult Swim canceled Joe Pera Talks with You, and it's only had 3 seasons. I'm really bummed. It's one of my favorite comfort shows. I know they're doing a lot of campaigns to tweet at and get into Adult Swim social media with tomatoes, because he grows tomatoes.
Cool.
He's just a wholesome comedian that does a wholesome show that I've heard called the Mr. Rogers for Adults. And it does bring me a lot of peace, and I watch it before I go to sleep. So if any other fans are out there for Joe Pera, don't harass, but politely send your comments to Adult Swim and let them know that you love the show and you'd like it back.
So send letters with tomato seeds, so it's not as annoying, but they get the point.
Exactly. We don't want to throw tomatoes. We just want to show them.
We want to plant them so they grow.
We're Joe fans.
Okay. Cool. Yeah, you can watch that on HBO Max, I think, at the moment, right? It's on the Adult Swim Hub. So if you want to check that out, make sure to go do that. HBO Max has been putting out a lot of really good stuff. I'll probably end up watching the Raid 2 this week, since I watched Raid Redemption last week. All right, Kyle, do you have anything else before we get out of here?
That's pretty much it.
All right. Well, I want to thank Terry, Leonard Kim, and Promiscuous Time Traveler for hanging out in the chat. We love when we have live viewers that ask questions and interact with the show. I think it makes it a lot more interesting.
I just want to believe that
on tangents.
I want to believe the Promiscuous Time Traveler is John Titor.
Oh.
Anyone know John Titor? No,
I don't get that reference. No.
Okay, never mind. Move along.
Captain America moment over here. Where I don't
get that.
He doesn't get them all, but when he gets them, very exciting. So all right, cool. Well, thanks everyone. Bye. And let's get out of here.
Let's ride.
Thanks everyone for watching.
Twitter loves you.
Oh yeah. Clay.
Hail Bebo.
Josh, Simon Center, get the fuck out.
All right.